All right, looks like I'm live. Hi everyone, welcome. All right, let's log into my YouTube. You already know how this goes. Let me go and refresh my YouTube to see if no, don't restart my computer now. Okay, there we go. All right, let me see who's gonna be in this live stream. All right, let's log into my YouTube. You already know how this goes. Okay, I'm gonna wait a few minutes to see who joins. Let me wait a little bit. Yay, alive. Hey, hello, mama. How you doing, sis? I am here. I'm here. I decided to go live early today because, yeah, just time. I had time today. So, might as well go early. Because I usually go later, but I think earlier is better. Probably works better for everyone's schedule. How are you doing? I love your case study. Oh, thank you. IDK, but we in her. Yo, I love your name. IDK, but we in her. All right. I love it. How's your week going? How are you guys doing? And thank you for your support. Thank you. I need it. You know what? I'll be honest with y'all. I'm not used to like so many people watching me now. It's very strange to me. I really, that's why I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I kind of liked when my channel was smaller because then it was easier to have conversations without getting derailed, right? But now it's like, yeah, it's like, but it comes with it. I can't even complain and say anything. It comes with it. It is what it is, right? So can't complain. I'm planning a trip, the Korea one, right? Did you decide when you're gonna go? I wanted to sleep all day, but I had things to do, so here I am. Okay, well, when are you gonna be in Korea? Because I think you said you wanted to go in spring or summer. You said summer. Hey, Kuz, how are you? Like the hair. Thank you. Merci, Kuz, merci. I actually just washed it. It's a little frizzy right now. I'm gonna like tie it down. It's gonna be way different. Probably next week. No, what am I saying next week? Oh, I'm okay. I'm gonna tie it down. It's gonna look different tomorrow. Yeah. But I just washed it. I had to wash it. I'm getting it retwisted actually. So my stylist is going to retwist it on sometime this week. I think we said Wednesday. So it's gonna look a little fresher. But it's actually it's still pretty good. I'm so happy I got it locked. It's so good. I saw you mention you talked about Papoose and Remy Ma, but I couldn't find it. Oh, okay. You know what? It's in one of my live streams. I'll put the link in here now. Just give me 1 second. Let me go look for it. I think some people got confused because I mentioned it, but it's not in a video form. It was a live stream because in December I had this I had Live Miss where I went live every single day for like the whole month of December. And it was in one of my live streams that I did. A lot of people probably would have missed it. So here, I'm going to put the link in here. Just give me 1 second. I'm clicking on it now. And then I'm just going to share it with you so you can get the link. Yeah, it's a live stream. It's a live stream. Here you go. That's the live stream. I remember our little groups. Those were the days. I know. But it's, and that's the thing because I love the fact that I'm meeting so many new people and new people are coming because we all need this, right? Like everyone needs this advice, education, etc. So that's not the problem. I love people like I don't know, but we in her coming. Like I love it. I love the fact that people are finding the case studies really useful and informative. My issue though is the trolls, and it's sad because hold on, let me read some of your comments and I'm gonna tell y'all why it's sad. It frames your face so beautiful. Thank you, sis. I feel like it's just me, like naturally. It's so crazy because I'm gonna let y'all know something. This is one of the reasons why I was so attracted to my husband. When we first met, I had clip-ins like just like this. It literally, I used to. So the thing with me is that I used to be under like a lot of like, how can I say this? The beauty standards, right? So I used to always try to do my hair more of the Eurocentric way, like straight hair, wigs, weaves, all of that stuff, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But for me personally, after a while, I got tired of trying to blend my hair with hair that's nowhere near mine, right? And I got sick of it. And I was like, look, if somebody's going to like me, they're going to like me with my natural hair. And so when I was in Korea, what I would do is I would add some clip-ins just to modify my hair. But it was natural clip-ins like 4B, 4C that blended well with my hair. And it was so crazy because as soon as I stopped wearing wigs, y'all, the men just came like crazy. Like, I used to get so many, like, guys used to just come up to me all the time. And it was so crazy. Like, the more natural I looked, the more the men came. And not saying that I did it for the male gaze or anything. It was mainly for me and what I wanted. But what I noticed is that once I became my true self and I became authentic with myself, then that's when I felt the most attractive. And then when I met Dom, fast forward, when it was 2020 and COVID hit, and then I used to wear makeup all the time, y'all. I used to wear makeup like every day, to the point where it's like I literally, like, people would see me with makeup on all the time. And it's not like I had heavy makeup, but I still had makeup on all the time. I used to buy lip colors, lip gloss, whatever, right? I used to just like makeup. And then when COVID came, I used to have to wear a mask, and then my mask would get all messed up, and then the makeup would leak and get all on my mask. And eventually Dom just came to me, he's like, you look beautiful either way, so why are you doing all this effort when you look, literally, I don't see the difference between you wearing makeup and you not wearing makeup, because you're still beautiful to me. And then I was like, you're right. Like, why am I doing all of this to keep up when my mask is all dirty? And then, you know, the Korea's hot as hell. So it's like, when you wear makeup, even if you wear the fix-it thing, like you wear the one that you wear that spray that holds your makeup, it doesn't work in Korean weather. So it's like I was struggling just to keep up with everything. So eventually after COVID, I was like, I really don't need makeup. You know what? Let me work on my skin, work on, you know, wearing a little bit here and there, but I'm not going to do too much where I don't need to, right? And yeah, and that's it. And now the same thing with my hair. Now I just do my hair when, you know, with styles that match me. And same thing with getting these locks. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a style that matches me and that suits me. It's more natural. I don't have to put makeup on. And again, it doesn't, like, I'm not saying women shouldn't wear makeup. I'm saying do what works for you. That's my point. Because not all of us are going to have to wear, not all of us are going to wear makeup. That's the truth. And some people, they love wearing makeup. They love looking, you know, they love looking glam up. They love having the buzz down, and that works for them. That's great. But for others, it just doesn't. And for me, it just didn't work for me. I prefer the more natural, simplistic look. And that's it. Yeah. I found my life to be so much easier now. Just get up, shake it, and go. Water it, shake it, and go. And that's what I want. So that's my era right now. Sorry to talk a lot. Like, that was... Sorry to give the long explanation. The live miss conversations were weren't they? I love them. Like, we had so much fun. I might do it this year again. That was a lot though. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Going live every day for 30 days. Whoo, that was so challenging. And then at the time I went to Jamaica too. And I got to show y'all Jamaica. That was fun. I ain't gonna lie. It was fun. And the karaoke. I'm trying to bring it to the Discord now. Now I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to work the schedule for the Discord, because I have to balance everything and my full-time job and, you know, spending time with my husband and doing our activities. So it's just trying to schedule everything in where I don't overpromise. But then at the same time, I don't want to neglect the Discord either. So I want to make sure that it's at a good pace where I can keep up with it. Because one thing I really don't want to do is to over promise and then I'm not delivering. That's one thing I don't like to do. So I'd rather not promise and then slowly, you know, have some activities and stuff than to over promise and then not deliver. Makes sense. Thanks. I'm definitely gonna watch it because it was such a big deal. I didn't hear the details. Yeah. In that live stream, it was actually I spoke about the damsel in distress and how a lot of men, they like to have this hero complex where they think they can save the woman. And most of the time, men who have that hero complex, they tend to have the same characteristics. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, watch it. It was a really good story. And Megan Fox and Remy Ma's stories were not that different. Even though you would think that they would be two different women from two different walks of life, what could they have in common? But they actually had a lot in common. a lot in common. So yeah, watch the live stream. Lil Mama said, I wonder if dry foundation is better than liquid in the summer. Probably. But girl, even the dry one, like, it would clump up. I'm telling you, Korean summers are not for the faint of heart. I don't know how Korean women put makeup all the time. Like, it's draining. You always, and to be honest with you, I used to always see them in the bathroom, like, reapplying makeup. It's like, you have to in that weather. That weather is not, it doesn't give. Let's just put it that way. It's way too hot. You said, I only know the natural simplistic because I just don't know how to do makeup. Right? But me too. I don't know how to do makeup either, girl. I don't know either. Let me tell you something. Like, I just know how to do it where I just have foundation, mascara, lip liner, lip color. That's it. Like, don't ask me to do brows and whatever the eyelashes. I couldn't be bothered to do it. And that's the thing. Like, I have to, you have to stay in your lane. I'm gonna mix that foundation with moisturizer and pray, right? I do the same things, yo. Like, I'm telling y'all, I do the same things. Like, I literally, I just pray, girl, pray. And make it, let it happen. Is this a live or a video? It's a live stream, not a video premiere. It would be the same, right? Yeah, like, you just gonna hope and pray it sticks. Hi, hey CFT, how are you, sis? I am well. No, this is not a live, this is not a video premiere. Actually, I do have a video that I'm going to do this week. I don't know, have you guys heard of the Nigerian dancer Cora Obidi and her ex-husband Justin Dean? Well, someone wrote about them in my comments when I was doing the Jamie and Nikki case study, and I decided to choose this couple because I was like, I'm interested because I never heard of them before. Y'all, oh my God, when I actually researched this couple, I was like, no, I have to do this couple. Like, this is very important. No, this is not a live case study. This is just me. I'm going to go over some research about dysfunctional male-female relationships as far as the gender norms of masculinity and femininity, because someone and this is the thing, I'm trying to choose my words wisely because I notice I can get very snarky and I don't want people to feel offended. Now, some people deserve my snarkiness and my rudeness. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Like, I've started just being, I'm usually pretty nice and pretty, well, I'm pretty okay. I'm pretty chill most of the time. But sometimes when people just come for your girl in the comments, I gotta give it back. I'm sorry. I'm not one of those YouTubers who cares about my brand. I really don't care. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I don't care. Only because of the fact that I know that this is not a career for me. And also, I'm very true to myself. Like, I'm not going to try to appease people who don't want to learn and who are purposely trying to derail conversations and purposely trying to control certain narratives of what they think I should talk about. I don't take that very lightly. So my point is that the reason why I came up with this topic is because I do feel like the person who commented actually genuinely had a question. And I think that I have to make it clear because I'm trying to, when I do my case studies, I try to give as much information as I can and include as many research and videos that I can that will make sense because they're very long, right? And unfortunately, I don't have time to go through every psychological and every theory and normative standards. I don't have time for that. And the problem is that some people will choose what they want from what I say and think that I'm just trying to attack a certain norm. And when it comes to femininity and masculinity, as in the last case study that I did with the pastor and his wife, the Sarah and Andrew situation, if y'all didn't get a chance to watch it, please watch it. There was one comment where she thought that I said that him being lazy, unambitious, and irresponsible is him being in his feminine energy. I don't recall ever saying that, but it's so crazy that people will choose what they want out of videos and then say, oh, well, how does being lazy mean that he's being feminine? No, I never said that. I said he's lazy because he's lazy. He's lazy and he's resting in his feminine energy, which is dysfunctional feminine energy. Now, this is the thing. Everyone, okay, you know what? Let me read a few comments and we're going to get into it, because people just, it's like, why do I have to over explain things that should be easy to comprehend? That's my issue. So I'm like, am I too advanced, or am I not making a point properly? Or do I need to over explain when I do case studies and explain exactly what I mean? Because I think that takes away from the fact that a lot of these topics and these nuances that I talk about is pretty simple information. Like, obviously being feminine doesn't mean you're lazy. Like, but why would you think that I said that being feminine means being lazy? It doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what is the disconnection between what I say in a case study and what people interpret. That's why I titled this live stream this way, because now I feel like I might have, like, I was like, okay, then today I'm going to spend time on a live stream explaining what dysfunctional feminine energy and masculine energy means. And that might help some people understand what I'm talking about. But it's like, I'm at the point now where it's like, do I fill a lot of my videos with a lot of research? Because is that what will be like, is that what you guys want? Not you guys, I'm not talking about you guys on the stream particularly, but I'm just talking in general. Or do people have to do their own research? Like, am I rude if I tell people they need to do their own research and figure this out? Because it's like I gotta explain everything from A to Z, and I'm like, bro, like, do you not know what that means? Like, anyway, let me read some comments, y'all. Lil Mama said, pray and blot the oil through the day. Yo, for real, I ain't gonna lie, like, whew, I used to be like this. I used to go to the bathroom and just wipe it down, reapply. YouTube back in the day, people used to get on people. There was no image or brand back then, so people were real for the most. Yeah, I don't have no, when I tell you I don't care, like, don't, and this is a PSA. If you come to my comments and you think that I'm not going to be snarky and respond back to you, and that's usually when I have time, because most of the time, if I don't have time, I'm not going to respond. And you should be lucky if I don't. But if I actually see it and I respond to it, just know that it's not going to be a nice comment. I'm not one of those people that's going to watch what I say. I don't care. I never have. Like, I don't have that personality. I'm sorry. Like, and I know that people aren't used to seeing a woman being this way. And I think this is the thing too. I'm gonna read some more comments and then I'll get into today's topic. What I'm noticing is that a lot of women, and it's a lot of women, when I do these case studies, y'all, I've had time to see the comments and create like kind of like an analysis on the type of women that respond to my comments or to my video, sorry. And what I'm noticing is a theme. Most of the negative comments that I get come from women who want me to talk about the male perspective and want me to be male identified. And I'm not. So it's like they can't correlate the fact that I'm a woman who's happily married and in a normal traditional, well, not, I wouldn't say traditional, but we're in a heterosexual couple, and I let my husband take the lead, and sometimes I take the lead. That's how we do it, and I'm going to talk about that. Now, we're in a very healthy relationship, and people can't fathom that I'm here protecting women and want women to do better, but I'm not ostracizing women and making them feel like they're, how can I say it? Like, I feel a lot of people, when they give advice to women, it's more in a condescending, like, you need to be this, you need to do that, like, why are you doing this? Why? No, you can be who you want to be. I'm just teaching you how to move in a way where you're able to identify the red flag, so you don't fall for a man who's going to make you operate in that way if it's not your natural state. Okay? If you are not a masculine woman, you are not a Masculina, you don't want to be a Masculina, you never wanted to be a Masculina, then why would I want you to meet a man like Andrew? Why would I? That's not who you want to be with. So my advice is for those women who want to put themselves in the best case scenario so they can have a fruitful future and at least find a partner worth a damn. That's my advice. I don't care about the male perspective. I'm sorry, I don't. And some people want me to, but I don't. You know why I don't care? Because there's a lot of videos out there that talk about it. So if you want the male perspective, I can tell you, for every female perspective video, there's probably 20,000 of male perspective. And what I'm trying to say is that we have to get to the point where we can help each other and help each other be better without, why do we have to invite men into the conversation? That's my point. Like, we don't need to do that. This channel is for women by women. It's a story. All the stories I say are told by women. This is from the women's perspective, the female perspective. Whether you identify as a woman or not is not my business. My point is that when I do case studies, it's from the point of view of a woman, because I am a woman and I was one of those women. That's the point. So why then would you expect me to consider the male perspective? I don't care. And the only male perspective that I actually really do care about is the man that's in the house with me right now. And maybe my father and my brothers. That's it. But other than that, it's like, you guys want me, not you guys, sorry. I have to choose my words carefully. A lot of people want me to make it seem like if a relationship, I understand it takes two to tango, so don't get me wrong, that is true. However, if I bring out the fact that the male was actually more complicit in the breakup because of how their behavior led to this woman being this way. Oh, but you got to understand and be compassionate. To who? How do you want me to be compassionate to a groomer? Like, how can I be compassionate to somebody who grooms women? Like, anyway, let me read some of the comments. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Thank you for the videos. That enlightened me on several red flags in my current relationship. I didn't know how I didn't see them beforehand. Lindy, and you know what? Thank you so much for your support. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like, you see, now you're dating and you might not have recognized those red flags because, unfortunately, the environment that you're in, or maybe who you're socializing yourself with, or maybe what you see on the outside, they're normalizing this and saying it's not a red flag when it is. And then you have a man who embodies the red flags, but you can't, like, I'm not talking about you, but I'm saying a lot of women can't see that. And sometimes it's very subtle to the point where you wouldn't even notice it's a red flag. And so the problem is that now we've become so accustomed to men having red flags and just brushing them away. And then when we get married, you get surprised when the man is worse than when you dated him. Like, how is this even possible? So many women, what happens is the red flags are there when they're dating, but it's not as bad because you're dating. But then as soon as you get married, you go move in with the person, the red flags just come left and right, left, right, left, right. You dodging them. You literally on defense mode. But the red flags were always there. And then the thing is, when I point them out, oh, you have to be compassionate towards men. For what? Why should I have to do that? We're taught so much to accommodate men and accommodate men's feelings. Accommodate the guy. Accommodate what he thinks. But what about us? How is that going to work? Why can't we both take responsibility? That's my issue. So it's just crazy out there. Anyway, Romy, okay, so hey, the star that fell. Hey, how are you doing, sis? I like your video on Sarah Kim. Do you think things will work out? In my personal opinion, I think things can still work out. Also, do you think Sarah should really know what she wants before things go back? Yes, I do think things can work out with her and her husband. And to be honest with you, the reason why I was so hard on him, and I'm hard on a lot of these men, is because they keep fumbling. Like, the whole time, this man had 3 years, 3 whole years. You gotta put things into context. Sorry about that. This man had 3 whole years to change. They've been married for almost 4 years. And it took the internet for him to start being a husband. It took for her to go on YouTube and TikTok for him to finally realize that, hey, this is not it. This behavior is not it. This is what I'm talking about. And the problem is that kind of behavior is so normalized, and everyone is placating men. Oh, just let him be, you know, give him time to change. But with women, we never have time. They never give us the grace. Never. It's like, oh, you need to pick up the slack. You need to learn how to cook, clean, da 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 da. Okay, so we have to do all that. And most of the women that I cover do that and more. And the men still are able to behave in such very, very like just I gotta choose my words right. I'm trying to be nice here, but they're just operating in the most like trash ways. I'm sorry, I gotta say it like that. And we normalize this kind of behavior. It's like the onus is on us to change and make it better, but not on them. No, it should be on them too. Matter of fact, it should be more on them, because if you're married, and that's the reason I do a lot of married couples, it's like you are, and even if you're not married, but especially if you're married, you need to figure out what your role is. And I'm going to talk about that. So I'm going to read a few more comments and we're going to get into today's topic because it's very important. CFT said, Romy, people tend to hear and not listen. Keep that in mind for your case studies. Yes, CFT, I'm noticing that. And Dom told me to. He's like, don't even waste your breath. He was like, people who will listen. People who don't. Yeah. And maybe because I get so frustrated because I'm like, I didn't expect it to come from, I thought men were going to come in my comments acting a fool. To be quite honest with you, I expected the men to come. But when it's coming from women, like you want me, and this is honestly, like y'all saw my Jamie and Nikki breakdown. They want me to have compassion for Jamie, y'all. Me to have compassion for Jamie. After all the things he done did to that girl. It's like, where are we in our mental, in this society right now? Like, where have we come? How far have we come where me defending a woman is a problem? You have to think about it from his side. Why? Why? As a woman, you should understand what it's like. A lot of us have been through those experiences. So why wouldn't I empathize and sympathize with the woman? Not saying that I can't with the man, but that's not my ministry. That's not what I do. So why are you trying to force me to sympathize with the man? I don't want to. I have no incentive to. Because he hasn't done anything for me to sympathize with him with. Like, it's not. For example, I did a case study on that Australian couple, Geraldine and Joshua. I empathize and sympathize with Joshua because he was actually putting in work. He was actually working. This man was doing a lot. So yes, he's going to get my appreciation. Same thing with Sarah's father and her brother. They are doing a lot. They're actually providers. I'm going to shout them out. They actually provided. They are still providing. Those are examples of good men, but it's like they want me to praise trash men. I'm not doing that. If I'm going to praise a man, he really needs to be praised. I'm not going to sit here and praise a man who's not even worth a nickel. Like, no, you don't even put any type of effort in your marriage, and you want me to think of being compassionate towards that man. This is wild. Anyways, continuing. How would I look out there talking about what it feels like to date a woman as a male? Like, I think the male would be better at giving their perspective, not me. Thank you. They want women to talk about the male perspective because that's the world we live in right now. The men are resting comfortably in their femininity. They are happy receiving. This is a problem. And I'm going to talk about it. Why are you comfortable with women giving the male perspective? There's something backwards about that. How would I know what it feels like to be a man? I'm not a man. I've never been a man. I will never be a man. But you want me to be given the male perspective and compassion towards men. For what? I am a woman. I have no... You know what? I'm going to get Dom, because Dom wants, we want to do a case study together, and we're going to do it right when his competition's over. His competition is on April 19th, and then we're going to probably take a week to kind of like do our own, like, I'm going to let him rest for like a little bit, and then we're going to do a video together. And he's going to talk about the male perspective because he's a man. He can talk about that. But not me. All right, let's continue. How do you want me to be compassionate to a groomer? Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, this woman wrote a whole long dissertation of, how Nikki should have been working and how, Jamie was working hard and Nikki should have pulled her weight and her going to school was no excuse. And I'm like, do you hear how you're talking? You wanted Nikki to be a Masculina when she doesn't clearly want to be one? You want Nikki to be a Masculina. This is the state of the world right now, y'all. I'm being honest. And that's why I'm getting so angry and frustrated because I'm like, this is the reason why so many of us are failing at relationships. I'm being honest. So many of us. And I'm saying us because we're all in this together. No one's relationship is perfect. However, it's like, you want me to tell a woman to do more when she's doing more than enough. More than enough. She did more than enough. And so I'm supposed to be compassionate towards her husband, who not only groomed her, but financially abused her, mentally abused her, and also emotionally abused her, as she said in her own response that I read. And yet y'all are still too obtuse to realize that and telling me I should have more compassion towards the man. This is the state of the world we're living in, y'all. Seriously, no joke. This is it. And it's scary because I'm like, okay, so we're supposed to put up with the bad behavior of men, and boys will be boys. It's okay. You got to put up with it. Do a case study on Andrew and Jamie and all those other men. June, all of them. Marty, all of them. And pointing out the red flags is a problem. Oh, you don't have a life. Why are you talking about their relationship? Somebody even told me, you're not in a relationship, so you can't talk. And I'm like, do you not know I'm married? And even if I wasn't married, I can't talk about red flags that I see to help other women. Like, when I tell y'all, it's wild out here. Like, and it's like the internet is just a microcosm of what really goes on outside. And in my mind, I'm like, this is the reason why a lot of young women are having a hard time finding a suitable match. Because we're letting men rest in their femininity way too much. And we're not letting them take the lead if that's what you want. If you want to be a Masculina and you want to operate in your masculine energy, then go for it. No one is saying that it's wrong. It's not wrong if you want to do that. That's your prerogative. But don't expect the man to lead and you're operating as a Masculina and then you want him to take the lead and then he's not doing it and then you get frustrated, want him to change. He's been like that. He likes receiving. He likes to operate in that. Don't think that is going to change. So to answer your question, do I think it can change? He's going to have to do extensive therapy. Yes, he can change. I mean, a lot of people can reform. This is not something that can't happen. People can change. So yes, if he wants to operate in his masculine energy, he needs to learn what it is and then learn what his wife wants. And they have to come together and then get some extensive counseling. And then maybe he can be more of the provider that she wants. But at the same time, people are coddling him. Still, even in the comments. Not a lot of y'all, but even then, people still coddling him. This is craziness. All right, I'm going to continue. Meanwhile, men marry up, almost always punching above their weight class. Yes, the good life started back. Thank you. Yes, they do. And they do it for a reason. Because they don't, a lot of men who operate in that energy, they want someone who is strong and ambitious. That's what so they can rest more. And you could do all the labor for them. That's what they want. And yet I'm supposed to have more compassion towards them. Get out of here. This ain't never gonna happen. Lil Mama said, with those two, Jamie kind of showed his immaturity. Like, even if they didn't get along, she never posted online trashing him ever, but he took the lower. Yeah, he did. And so when I take, so you want to go low, and she never did. The thing is, she never came out with anything. She just came out with that video saying, hey, we broke up. And even in that, hey, we broke up video, she didn't say anything. She just said, look, things happen. I haven't been happy for so long. I'm moving on. Then she talked about her children, how they have been coping, or they had been coping with the news. And then she moved on to her channel and what you guys could look forward to. This woman did not say anything bad about her ex. But yet he coming online trashing her. And then now I'm doing a video responding to that and debunking it. And then people want to get mad at me. You don't have any compassion. You're biased. You only think about what. Yes, I do. And what are you going to do about it? And what are you going to do about it? Yes, I do only think about women. Why? Why? Because we're the ones who suffer the most. Let's be clear. We're the ones who suffer the most when it comes to those kind of relationships. So why wouldn't I talk about that? This is crazy. You don't know what masculinity is. I'm literally about to give you guys some research right now. And then this 20 Faces person says you don't know what masculinity is. So 20 Faces, can you explain to me what is masculinity? Since you know so much about it. You guys, this is the funniest thing too. People think that I don't do my research. As if I'm saying all of these things out of nowhere. Like I don't know what anything is. Like I don't educate myself. Like I haven't been educating myself. 20 Faces. That just shows me how dumb you are. How ignorant and... You know what? Let me keep my comments to... No, you know what? I'm not going to keep my comments to myself. Explain what masculinity is, 20 Faces, and tell me what it is. Tell me what it is. Please, because I'm about to bring out some research. And y'all, again, it's people like this that make me laugh because they think I'm just coming out of thin air with what I'm saying. As if I've never researched before. Unfortunately, a lot of us are educated. We're not uneducated like you. Of course, I know what masculinity is, and I'm about to explain it to you. But a dodo brain like you doesn't know what it is. Do you even know where the term comes from? Do you even know how it applies in modern society? Do you even know how to be a man? Are you a man? Who knows? Who knows? Who are you? Expose yourself. Reveal yourself. What is masculine energy? Since you're smarter than a 5th grader. You're smarter than all of us. We're all kindergartners. We don't know anything about this. Can you explain it to us in layman's terms? I'm not even going to block you. But watch. This whole live stream, this person's not going to explain anything that makes any sense. You are an example of masculinity. And so is your mom. How about that? So is your mama. Anyway, and when I listen to men talking from their perspective, sometimes they bring up things that I would never have known as a woman. I can't give their perspective. It's impossible. Exactly. I think sometimes telling someone that they are with the wrong person in a relationship works against you. Makes them want to be more with the person, even if you know what's best for them. No, Aaliyah Jackson, I'm not going to block the person because obviously what they don't understand is that, yes, I am masculine and feminine. Everybody has masculine and feminine traits. This is what that dodo bird brain person doesn't understand. Everyone has masculine and feminine traits. Every single one of us. We both have masculine and feminine energy within us. That's what people don't understand. How you choose to operate is your business. And I'm going to talk about that. But again, 20 Faces is an idiot. This is what I'm talking about. The dummies. They come. And this is why I think it's so sorry, my American folks. I love you guys. Damn. But I have to speak the truth. When you guys, or when the whole majority of your citizens voted for that person that is the president right now, I knew it was over for the world. Because the more that we keep going this way, the more the uneducated have too many voice. It's like they're outnumbering us, y'all. They outnumber us in droves. And it's getting really sad to see. 20 Faces, you're one of them. So, yes, I am an example of masculinity. I am. because I have both. Everyone does. You're an example of what happens when the school system fails people. Because you would have known this if you had studied and been in your books. But you weren't. You're an idiot. You're stupid. But then if I say that, oh, you're wrong, you shouldn't call him dumb. Yes, I can, because he is uneducated. These are the people I got to deal with on a daily basis. When I talk to intelligent people, they just understand. They can get it. They get it. But for some reason, you don't. Anyway, let's continue. Sis, you need to block people. No, I don't want to block. You know why? I don't want to block them. Because I want to reveal how these people exist. They exist. Can I become a mod? Yes. Soon. If I only block people if they say like, you know, like racial and derogatory things, but this person's just dumb. Like, it's just is dumb. And you see, well, we can see that masculinity, not so much the femininity though. Well, why don't you ask my husband then? How do you know? Do you know me personally? How do you know me? Do you know how I am on a daily basis? I've been married for 4 years. I've been with my husband for 5. My man is he leads. He provides. He's not masculine. He's not feminine. Like, he does not operate in his feminine energy as much as you do. So, where's the correlation, sir? How did I get married? Because remember, didn't y'all say masculine women can't get married? Masculine women, or women who are assertive, women who know what they want, or women who are expressive. You guys said that if we're loud, if we're passionate, we can't get married. I'm married. So what's up? What's up? What's up? 20 faces. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. What's up? What can you say now? I am married to a real man. So what are you going to say now? Exactly. Being what? Like, this is the thing. They want us to fit the narrative so badly. And I'm married to a man who grew up in probably one of the most patriarchal societies known to man, and he still wifed me. He still wifed me. He still wifed me. And every day he's going to tell you why he decided to be with somebody like me, because he always says it. He says, I love the fact that you have your own opinion. I love the fact that you stand strong. It doesn't intimidate him because he's a man. He's a real man, not cosplaying as a man like you. That's why. Like, seriously. And if you're a woman, you should be ashamed of yourself. For the fact that you think that a woman like me, because I'm passionate, that I'm masculine. Exactly. Anyway, yeah, I kept him there because, I'm just waiting for him to say something. Because he just saying a bunch of nothing, y'all. Okay, let's not derail the convo. Let's continue. Ho is why. Not the whole why is you here. Yo, oh my God, I can't. Yo, for real, like, why are you here? Because they always want to derail the conversation when we talk about how feminine they are. That's the problem. Not enough of people like, yeah, right? Okay, I'm gonna make you a mod. Yeah. Notice how he shut up or she shut up as soon as I said I'm married. They think, why do they think this? And this is another problem I have too. It's like, they think that because they see a black woman on a live stream talking about this, they just automatically think that you can never be married if you are just a passionate person, you're self-assured, you know what you want in life, like, you're not going to take no bullshit, like, you're very, like, straightforward, straight to the point. They act like they act like you always operate in that energy. As soon as I turn off this live, I am the sweetest woman to my husband because he deserves that part of me. And you guys see the sweet part of me when I want to be sweet because you guys deserve that sweet part of me. But for people like him or her, they don't deserve that part of me because I'm not just going to give you the nice part of me, especially if I'm passionate. I'm trying to explain something. So it's like, Anyway, just idiots, y'all. The village idiots. That's what they was talking about before. And I used to never understand it, but now I understand it. Will this be a later? Yeah, it's going to be saved, y'all. I save all my lives. Red Pill Manosphere got this 21 faces in the choice. Hey, what about me? I wanted to be a mod. Okay, you could be a mod. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna add as a moderator. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, here you guys go. Okay, I added you as a mod, and who else said they wanted to be a mod? What's that? Okay, Aaron, I got you. You a moderator now. Y'all got the power. Okay, there you go. Y'all are moderators now. Yeah, best way, in my opinion, ignoring it does not make it go away, only comes back stronger. No, I understand that, but it's like 20, what was that person? He didn't come back as soon as I said I'm married. You see, that's the thing. They want me to be so like, they think that if you're a woman like me, then there's no way you could possibly have a husband. And I have one. And it just breaks their whatever stereotypes they have in their head. And I love doing that, because I'm just showing everyone that you don't need to be weak and submissive all the time. You can choose when you want to be that way. You don't have to operate. This is the thing, and this is why I talked about dysfunctional feminine and masculine energy. If you want to operate in your, like, I feel like a lot of women, they have been taught to be like, oh, you can't say how you feel. Don't tell people and express yourself. You're going to scare him away. No, he shouldn't be scared. You have to know when to put your foot down and when to not. You have to know when to sit in your feminine energy and when to be more assertive. Like, there's different parts of your personality that you can deploy. Like, why do you need to be only one way all of the time? That's actually very unhealthy. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And these are the people that don't understand what it is to be dual and to have that polarity within you. They don't understand that balance is key. They just think that you have to operate either in one way to the extreme or the other way into the extreme. And this is where we all get caught up. Hi, Romy from South Africa. Hey, Luale. How are you, sis? Y'all seem level-headed. Taught to shrink yourselves even as children. Exactly. And this is what's going on in this society. Let's start today's topic, because I spent 47 minutes blocking and not only blocking but but calling people dumb. I don't feel like doing that too much. So let's continue. Okay, let's continue this. All right. Today's topic. Let's get into it, y'all. I'm gonna share with you guys. Sorry about that. What I mean by dysfunctional feminine energy. Okay. Y'all, let's talk about dysfunctional feminine energy first. And then we'll talk about dysfunctional masculine energy. Hi, Quan. Hey, hi from K-Town, London. Hey, Francis. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day today. All right, let's talk about dysfunctional feminine energy, because that's very important to learn, especially that was the case in the last case study that I did. So let's talk about it. A man operating in dysfunctional feminine energy. So first, let's bring it back. Again, everyone has feminine and masculine energy within them. Matter of fact, let me share my screen so I can show you guys yin and yang. Okay, yin and yang is actually one of the oldest concepts of this duality that we have. And that comes from Chinese tradition and Chinese culture. So they're the first ones to really talk about it. Probably other people talked about it, but hey, I just know yin and yang. Okay, yin and yang first. And then Carl Jung talked about it when he talked about the anima and the animus. So women have masculine traits and their soul has some masculine components to it, and it's called the animus, whereas men have some feminine traits and concepts, or their archetype. They have a femininity archetype that's called the anima. All right, so these are concepts that have been studied throughout the ages. This is nothing new, all right? Nothing new. All right, let me share my screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Y'all already know how this works with me sharing my screen. Hold on. Let me see if I remember this. Okay, there we go. This is the one. Was it display capture? I hope so. Or window capture. Hold on. No. It was window capture. My bad, y'all. Y'all. Uh-oh. Wait. Hold on a second, y'all. My bad. I keep doing this. Let's delete this. Hold on. Let's delete this. I don't know why I keep doing this, y'all. Hold on. Y'all gonna see me soon again. One second. My bad, y'all. Hold on. Why does this... Okay, this is where my auntie-ness comes out. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Wait. Wait. Where am I? Uh-oh. Okay, give me 1 second, y'all. I'm coming back. Give me 1 second. Oh, here we go. Video capture. Sorry, guys. This happens all the time. Oh gosh, and now I'm flipped around again. Okay, guys. Just every week it's a struggle with your girl. It's a struggle. This is where the auntie comes out. All right, hold on a second. Let me resize it. Why is it not flipped around? Hold on, y'all. I'm about to here we go. Let's go transform it. Okay, rotate. All right, rotate again. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right, here we go. I'm flipped again. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna leave it like this. All right, whatever. I'm flipped. Doesn't matter. All right, let me share my screen. Can y'all see me? Let's just make sure y'all can see me. Just let me know if you can see me. Sorry, I had to go into auntie mode. Okay. Oh, yeah, right? Thank you, girly gamer. Yo, it just... Wait, let me flip it again, because I don't like how it's looking right now. Give me 1 second. This is the auntie part. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Why is it not flipping again? Okay, here we go. All right, give me 1 second. Let's flip. It's not flipping. All right, we're just going to leave it like this. Hey, it is what it is. All right. Okay, you can see me. All right, that's good enough. All right. So now let's get into the group. Display. I think it's window capture. Yes, window capture. Whoo! I found it. All right, y'all. All right, now y'all can see yin and yang. All right, good. Okay, you guys can see yin and yang, right? I'm pretty sure you can see it because it's on my screen right now. All right, let's talk about yin and yang. I'm going to put it in front of my face so you guys can see it because I want it to be in brackets here. All right. I'm going to leave it alone. Don't worry, sis. I'm sorry. It's like, what's so funny? It's like every time I go live stream, it's like my brain just, I'm like, do I remember this? I need to start practicing. This means I don't go live enough. That's my problem. All right. I don't take kind to you keep saying auntie mode. You are an auntie. All aunts don't act like, don't make me auntie. No. I say I'm an auntie because okay, let me rephrase that. I know that not all aunties act like this. When I'm saying auntie is the technology, like I'm only 39, but it's like I feel like with some of the technology I'm not as like advanced. That's what I meant by auntie. That's what I meant. Because my aunties, you guys gotta remember, my aunties are older. So when I think of an auntie, I just think of my aunts and I think of how they use technology, and they're always like, do you know how to send this? How do I get to my text messages? Like, I feel like that. That's what I'm saying. All right. So yin, feminine energy, guys, according to yin and yang. And we're going to talk more about this. Yin, feminine energy is patient and passive, internal energy, introspection, compassion, yielding, nurturing, right brain and intuitive. Because remember, we have a right brain and a left brain. Creative, ambivalence, quality, synchronicity, and soft. These are all traditional feminine traits. If you don't agree, then you need to argue with your mama. All right? Because this is coming from the Chinese ancient world. All right? Okay. Now, notice the bottom part. Excess. This is the dysfunctional. Needy, confusion, martyrdom, and depression. All right, if you have it in excess. Now let's get to the men. Masculine energy, active, external energy, assertion. So you're assertive. You have valor, dominating, initiating. Left brain, logical, conscientious, certainty, quantity, cause and effect, and hard. And if it's in excess, forcing, rigid, domination, anxiety. All right. So based on the case study that I did last week, which one does Sarah fall under? Exactly. The yang. Okay? The yang. She decided to operate in her masculine energy more than her feminine energy. And that's what I was trying to say. Hold on. Let me delete this. Yes, I want to remove that. All right. Now, let's get into something else. I have something else to show you. Because people don't seem to understand when I say what I say. Hold on a second. Hold up. Okay, whoa. What did I do? Okay, this time I could delete it. What? I don't know what I just did. All right, hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. It's under... Okay, display capture. There we go. I had the wrong one. All right. Why is it showing this? Okay, hold on. Cancel. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Let me cancel it. Why is it... Hold on. Give me 1 second. Window capture. Sorry, wrong one. All right. There we go. All right. So now let's get into something else. Okay. I am going to share my screen. Hold on. That's not what I want to look at. 1 second. Here we go. All right. Now, let's see. Y'all see my Google? Y'all see? Hold on. Let me make sure ain't nothing up here. Okay, nothing up here. All right. I'm sharing it. All right, now there's more. A man operating in dysfunctional feminine energy may exhibit traits that reflect an imbalance where the shadow aspects of feminine energy overshadow healthy masculinity. Here are some characteristics. Emotional instability and oversensitivity. Reacts emotionally instead of responding rationally. Struggles with emotional regulation, leading to mood swings or passive aggressiveness. Takes things too personally and avoids constructive criticism. All right, so these are dysfunctional, guys. Dysfunctional. Remember, every man and woman has masculine and feminine energy. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying men should be feminine and women should be I'm not saying men should be masculine and women should be feminine. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that research has shown that if it's in a dysfunctional state, you are going to overly act in that way, which means that you are not going to assert yourself in the dual polarizing way that you should. Again, it's balance. If you don't know how to balance your masculine energy and your feminine energy, you're going to operate in the extreme of one, which does not work for a majority of people. Let's be clear. You have to know how to operate in both. And that's for men and women. Continue. Lack of initiative and passivity. Does that not sound like Andrew to you? Avoids leadership. Decision making, deferring to others out of fear or insecurity. Right here, this is Andrew to a T. People like him. I don't want to just put him out there. There are men like him. Struggles to take action or responsibility, expecting others to lead or provide for him. Procrastinates excessively and lacks a sense of direction or ambition. Next, neediness and external validation seeking, overly dependent on others, especially women, for emotional security and affirmation. Constantly seeks approval instead of developing inner confidence. Fearful of rejection, leading to people-pleasing behavior. Next is manipulative and indirect. Uses guilt-tripping, emotional manipulation, or victimhood instead of direct communication. Struggles to express needs assertively, resorting to passive aggressiveness. May gossip, complain, or play the victim instead, rather than solving problems. Does that not sound like one of the men in one of my case studies? May gossip, complain, or play the victim to social media, rather than solve problems. Next. Avoidance of responsibility and lack of drive. Struggles with self-discipline, avoids accountability, and lacks perseverance. Makes excuses instead of taking ownership of his life and choices. Feels entitled to support or resources without putting in effort. Sexual and romantic dysfunction. Has difficulty embodying healthy masculine presence in relationships. Wants to play video games instead of sleeping with his wife. May oscillate between being overly submissive or passive aggressive in relationships. Attracts dominant partners who end up losing respect for him. So y'all let me know. Hold on a second. Let me get out of here. Let me go back to the video. Here we go. Here I am. Let's delete this real quick. So y'all let me know, was I wrong for calling this man feminine? Was I wrong for calling the man in the last case study feminine? I'm waiting. Hi, Maria. How are you, sis? It's stuck. Oh, is it stuck? Oh, okay. Yeah, it requires to do the external. Yes, they shame their spouses, let the internet drag. Thank you. Okay, make sure it's not stuck. But yeah. Does that not sound feminine to you? Now, I should have said, I will say one thing. I should have said it's dysfunctional feminine energy. So I will say that. I should have said that he was operating in his dysfunctional feminine energy. But he was still operating in his feminine energy, y'all. Hold on. So now, what about women? Let's get into the women, because this is very important. And then I'm going to give you guys the book. So I might start a book club. I know I talked about that before, but I'm really thinking about it. A virtual book club on my Discord. Unfortunately, I can't do videos all the time because of the time difference. I'm 3 hours behind you guys. So, and then I finish work at like 4:20. So I know it might be late for some of y'all. So y'all let me know, like, would you be interested in a virtual book club on our Discord? You don't have to attend all the time, but what I want to do is us to buy a book and read it together in its entirety and kind of go through some concepts, especially for my ladies who really struggle with dating. The internet had to bully him. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and I said in the video that he's operating his feminine energy. Does that not describe him? So that's what I'm saying. Like, people think I don't research, and it's sad because I'm like, what, what? Y'all be thinking I just come up with this stuff out of nowhere? I'm not that smart. I wish I were that smart to come up with all of these concepts, but no, I get it from somewhere. Maybe I'll have motivation to finally read. I would love to join your book club. Yeah, the Discord. If you're on the Discord, join. I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to tell you what the book is. I'm going to introduce it right now. I'm going to be on this stream for a little bit longer too. Oh, the link? Okay, let me share the link with you. 1 second, sis. 1 second. Let's do that. Hold on a second. I am going to share the link now and make sure this one doesn't expire. I know I always have to do that because Discord has some links that expire. All right, here we go. This is the Discord link. I'm an Ajuma, girl. Me too. Dom said anyone who's a grown woman is an Ajuma, basically. It's 9 here right now, but I joined the book club. Yeah, it's gonna be virtual. So what I'll do is I'm gonna find a way to set it up where you can come in. Like, I'll probably have, like, we'll discuss topics and we'll type it. Type what we're, like, you know, parts of the book that we're reading. I'll probably assign, like, pages. I'm not gonna make it too, like, hard for you guys to do. It's probably be like read 1 chapter a week, and then we'll discuss it like at the end of the week or something, and then just kind of talk about it through text, because I think that's probably the easiest way. I don't want it to be a video only for the simple fact that I know everyone has different time zones, and I know it would probably be hard for everyone to kind of join that kind of session. So it'll probably be a virtual book club where we kind of type and we write to each other, and maybe one, like, at the end of the book, like once everyone reads everything, then we'll probably have a live stream specifically for that book and just kind of talk to each other. Yeah, so all right, so let's get into the women. All right, so dysfunctional masculine energy. Dysfunctional. So again, women and men both have feminine and masculine energy. The problem is that when you don't know how to operate in either of them, and you don't know when to use it and when not to, this is what causes an issue. Usually at work, like, for example, At work, you're kind of forced to be a masculina if you're in a leadership role, because you have to be more assertive. You can be both. Don't get me wrong. Because when you're working with certain team members, sometimes you have to operate in your feminine energy, and sometimes you have to operate in your masculine energy. But at the same time, you can't always just operate in one and neglect the other one. That's the problem. And when you overly act in one and you neglect the other one, this is where the issues start, especially in relationships. Yeah, Aaron, so I'm gonna post it probably after this live stream. Let me work out the kinks of it, but I'm gonna post it. I'll tell you what the book is called. Y'all let me know if y'all are still interested. All right, and it talks a lot about masculine and feminine energy. I think it would be very useful for y'all, especially for you guys who want to get married and you want to have you want to know what kind of how you should operate in your marriage. When I read that book when I was single, because I really was trying to get to know myself, and also I was tired of repeating the same mistakes, because I told you I used to operate in my Masculina energy. I was a Masculina all the way. Sarah did not surprise me at all, because I was like her. And that's why I made that video, is because I could see myself in her. The only difference is I had time to change that. And so now I operate in both. So sometimes I will rest in my femininity when I have to, and when I have to be assertive and I have to assert myself and be more of the masculine, in the sense of when I have to operate in my masculine energy, I do. And then I turn it off. It's like a light switch. Turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. Majority of the time, though, I don't have to operate as a masculina in my household, because my man knows how to lead and he knows how to take the role. So I never have to force him to do anything. He naturally knows how to do it. When I talk about turning it on and off, it's mostly on the outside world. So at work, I have to turn it on. I have to be a masculina at work sometimes, because I have to be assertive. I have to make decisions on the fly. I can't operate in my receptive role. I have to be more of the assertive leader. But then, at home, I'm more in my femininity. I don't operate as a masculina at home. I leave that at the door. And then when I get inside, I'm like, hey, honey, how are you? And do my feminine stuff. And then, sometimes when I'm outside, I'm feminine or masculine, depending on how you approach me. Let's just put it that way. I used to be a chef. You usually have two choices unless you work more with women. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, as a chef, you have to operate as a masculina, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's true. You do. But this is the thing. You can choose. You can choose. Hey, Vijo, how are you? You can choose how you operate as a masculina. But in relationships, it's something. Anyways, we're going to get into that. Don't worry, y'all. We getting into that. Let me stop going on a tangent. Let's read about women. And then let's get into what the book club. Thank you. Love my case studies. Thank you. And I'm so glad that a lot of you guys support it. I really need to hear that motivation, because sometimes I'm like, y'all be too much. Not y'all, but you know what I'm talking about. I love currently reading Knots and Crosses by Mallory Blackman. Oh my God. Is it a good book? Let me know if it's a good book. Exactly. I worked as a line cook. Yeah, you got to be assertive. You have to, you cannot be in your feminine energy as a chef. You can't. Because you have to tell people what to do. Move. It's such a high pressure environment. And that's the thing, because we're in the workforce now. And I think what it is that we're not taught to turn it on and off. The problem is that, especially if you come from a household where your mom was naturally in the more masculine role, then it is hard for you to know how to turn it on and off, because she had to be that way, or your father had to be more feminine, or there's so many different dynamics. And unfortunately, our environment really plays a role in that, where our parents don't know or didn't know how to operate in both. And then that's where the toxic or dysfunctional masculinity and femininity comes from. Being masculina is tiring and will make you resentful to your partner. We're going to get into that. So that's why I promote operating in both. You have to operate in both and know how to gauge both. And not only that, but your partner has to be on the same page too. So for example, Sarah and Andrew's marriage, I don't mean to bring it up again, but I mean, that's the latest case study that I did. And I do think, again, that Andrew is redeemable. I do believe that. And I even said that in there. I think he has it. He got a little bit of sense. But the thing is, he has to know how to do it. Pastry kitchens are more feminine. Learning more about older women around me helped me to learn to check myself. You see, that's what I'm saying. It's like just knowing and being in that environment. But unfortunately, a lot of us didn't have that growing up. We didn't know. And our parents, like for example, I'm going to use my mom as an example before I get into this. My mom operated in her feminine role a lot. And unfortunately for her, when I saw her, I was like, oh, I feel like she's a bit, I don't want to say this, but I'm just being honest, y'all. I felt like she was too weak because I'm like, oh, like, because my dad was overly masculine to the point where, yes, he was a provider and protector. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking that from him. But I felt like he pretty much, like, everything that he did, it was like my mom would be like, oh, we have to ask your dad. We have to ask your dad. It was like my dad kind of like, I feel like she kind of put my dad as the decision maker. And don't get me wrong, like they both made decisions together. But the problem is that I saw it as like, oh, my dad has too much say. And I want to be able to like not have a husband who has too much say. I want us to work on things together. And sometimes you follow my way. Sometimes I follow your way. That's what I want. Right. And what I saw in that was that, okay, I need to be more assertive. I need to be more clear about what I want. I don't want to ever be weak, or weaker. I'm not saying that my mom's weak. She's not weak at all. But I'm saying that's what I thought. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I don't want a man to be able to run game on me. I don't want him to be able to do stuff. So I'm going to take charge. And that way I don't have to worry about him hurting me or whatever because he's going to need me. So then that way I can operate as a Masculina. I can be what he wants me to be. I can lead everything. And then that way he could just follow me. That was my mindset. That's how demented I was. But then eventually when I grew up, I realized that, hey, there's nothing wrong with being a Masculina if you know how to operate properly. You can be a Masculina at times, but still also be feminine. You can be both. You don't have to operate in either one extreme or the other. That's the issue. Sarah Kim is resentful towards Andrew, like being a provider, but exactly. So she doesn't know how to, nobody's teaching her. No one's teaching her how to be like, this is the thing. No one's teaching her or him. So now he, there are probably like, he probably is more comfortable resting in his feminine energy. But the problem is he doesn't know how to be masculine. Whereas for her, she is too masculine. Because again, somebody wrote it in the comment and I thought it was such like whoever wrote that comment, I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Someone wrote that she probably really adored her father so much that she started emulating him. And that's possible too. Sometimes that does happen. Yeah. We don't all have to be feminine. It's not for everyone. Thank you. Women are exactly. Everyone operates in whatever energy they can. You don't have to always be feminine. And that's why I don't like the femininity channels too much. I understand the concept and I get it, but they make it seem like you have to completely get rid of your masculine energy. And I'm like, no, you need that masculine energy. You need it. You need it. You need that masculine energy. You need it. You can't, just like men need that feminine energy. It's like, imagine you have a daughter, you're a father, you have a daughter, and you don't know how to operate in your feminine energy to explain to your daughter and nurture her. You're just all the way tough, like, get up, get out of bed. Like, you need to know when to operate in either. How do you think men can, sometimes men have to be softer. Sometimes men have to nurture. Sorry, I was drinking this. That's why I'm burping. It's bubbly water. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, okay, I'm going to read the comments after. Let me get into the dysfunctional Masculina. That's what I was talking about. Let's get into that dysfunctional one. All right, let's get into it. All right, so here for women. A woman operating in dysfunctional, y'all, dysfunctional. That means if it's too extreme, that means that they don't know how to harness and nurture their feminine energy along with the masculine energy. They're just totally masculine. May exhibit traits that reflect an imbalance where the shadow aspects of masculinity overshadow her natural feminine essence. Here are some key characteristics. over dominance and control issues. Feels the need to control everything and struggles with trust. Rejects cooperation, insisting on doing everything herself. The last case study showed this. Sees softness or vulnerability as weakness. Hyper independence and resistance to receiving. Struggles to accept help or support, seeing it as a sign of weakness. Feels uncomfortable being cared for even in relationships. Believes she must earn love through achievements rather than just being. Workaholism and over-identification with achievement. Defines self-worth solely through career status or accomplishment. Prioritizes work over relationships, sometimes viewing emotions as distractions. Feels restless or guilty when resting. Always chasing the next goal. Emotional disconnection and hardness. Suppresses emotions, leading to numbness or emotional shutdown. Struggles to express warmth, tenderness, or softness. Views vulnerability as something to be avoided at all costs. Competitiveness and need for dominance. Sees relationships, romantic or otherwise, as power struggles. Competes with men rather than complementing them. Views femininity as weak and may look down on more feminine women. Struggles with romantic polarity. Attracts passive, weak, or overly feminine men who struggle to lead. This is a big telltale sign. May feel resentful in relationships, thinking she has to do everything. Unconsciously emulates male partners, then loses attraction for them. Hostility toward feminine energy. Rejects traditional feminine roles or expressions, sometimes to an extreme. May judge other women who embrace softness, nurturing, or submission in relationships. Fails to see the power imbalance between masculine and feminine energy, y'all. This is a problem for a lot of women. This is a big problem, y'all. A huge problem. A huge problem. Hold on, let me get back to it. So if my girlfriend proposes to me, what should my response be? Hold on. Let me read. Wesley Perang. Women have always worked. Maybe not all women, but most women worked in some form of way. So it's expected women to also have masculine attributes. But if you want a masculine man, then be feminine. Exactly, Wesley. But I actually will say that I agree with your point, but I'm going to add something further. If you want a masculine man, be more feminine. But if you don't, that's the thing. Like, I think that men and women should learn how to operate in both, because there's no, for me, there's no 100% masculine man and there's no 100% masculine woman. There are men who can have both traits. So I know a lot of men, for example, let's take it. This is a very simple example. For example, I know some men who like to take care of plants, but other men will see that as, oh, that's feminine. But no, that's not feminine. That's just him. He's embracing his feminine energy. He likes to take care of plants, nurture plants. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like a woman, maybe some women like to be into hardware. They want to do the DIY, want to fix stuff, Mrs. Fix It. That's not necessarily masculine. But that's what I'm saying. You should be able to operate in both without feeling like you need to choose one or the other. That's my point. And I think that once people realize that there's no such thing as just being masculine or feminine, you can embody both, then it'll be easier for relationships, to be honest with you. But yes, in your assessment, yes, if a man prefers to be in his masculine role, he's more comfortable in his masculine energy, then yes, you should embody the feminine energy, because he'll be attracted to that naturally. However, if how can I say this? If the woman prefers to be in her masculine energy and she feels uncomfortable being feminine, then she needs to choose a man who's feminine. So for example, Sarah and Andrew would have been best. He needs to be with somebody who is truly masculine, who really wants to take the lead, who doesn't mind being that kind of leader, and who doesn't really like being in her feminine energy. That's the perfect woman for him, actually. He should have been with that girl. But the problem is that Sarah does not like being in her masculine energy. She was faking it. She actually really doesn't like that. She wants to be she wants to be in her feminine energy all the time. And unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. So if my girlfriend proposes to me, what should my response be? I don't know. What's wrong with her? That's the thing. When I did the woman proposing to the man, it's okay. So let me explain to y'all why I put this. This is just YouTube thumbnail stuff. That's why I did that. But what I'm trying to say is this. If she proposes to you, well, it depends. Do you like to be in the more traditional feminine role? Like, do you have a problem with your woman proposing to you? The issue is that most of the women who propose to the men, that's the issue that I'm finding. It's not that they're actually masculine. Like, it's not that they actually want to take on the masculine role. They just want to convince the man to choose them. That's literally what it is. Excuse me. So if you have no problem with her taking the lead on that, then you're going to say yes. But most of the time, men don't like that. That's my point. So it's like, it depends on your relationship dynamic. If you prefer her to take the lead and to do everything for you, and she likes that, she actually enjoys doing that, then say yes. But if she naturally doesn't like it and she's just trying to get you to choose her and for you to push it along because, again, you are too comfortable in your receiving energy, and she's trying to pick up the pace, but then she naturally wants you to take the lead, it's never going to work. So that's my point. You choose what works for you in your relationship. At Darius, just accept it, bro. Then the desperation comes out like they're on survival mode. Yes, exactly. They start chasing men and don't set boundaries and have... Thank you. Just be yourself. Thank you. Devonna Pittman, this is the point of everything. That's my entire point. Be yourself. Be yourself. If you want to be the more masculine energy person, if you're comfortable in that energy, then choose a man who is comfortable receiving. But you can't have it both ways. You can't say, I want to be in my masculine energy. I'm going to do this. I'm going to push for that. I'm going to push for that. And then when he decides to really rest in his femininity, you get mad and you want him to take the charge more. It doesn't work like that, sweetie. It don't work like that. He obviously is comfortable resting in his femininity, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But choose somebody who aligns with that. And if you're the type of person who you understand that, hey, I want both. I want a man to actually treat me well and him to take initiative, but then sometimes I don't mind taking initiative, then you need to find somebody who can balance both. Who knows when to rest and when to go. Who knows when to operate in his feminine energy and masculine energy. You need someone who is dual, who can polarize, who can use both. But you can't just force someone to be masculine if they're naturally feminine. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. Same thing. Like, for example, Jamie and Nikki's story. She is clearly in her feminine energy. Sis, through and through. From the beginning, she wanted a man to be a provider. You could tell. But then he trying to get her to be a Masculina. It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. You can't then get mad. Oh, you got to bring something to the table. Fellas, you can't get mad at that. If she likes to rest in her femininity, let her rest in her femininity. That means that you need to take the lead. She wants somebody to take the lead. That's what she wants. But you can't get upset with that. I'm sorry. You can't then get her, oh, you need to work. You need to put something to the table. Then you should have found a woman who likes to operate in her masculine energy and who wants to bring stuff to the table. Who doesn't like receiving. You need to find a woman like that. Oh, okay. Sorry, y'all. Let me read some comments. I think also if you want to get married, go ahead. Yeah, I agree with you, Devonda. I agree. At some point, men have feminine attributes because you got to look after your kids and also nurture them. Maybe not the same way as a woman, but in your way as a man. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I have a coworker of mine. He just had a baby with his wife. And this man, when I tell you, he is the perfect example of he knows how to operate in his masculine and feminine energy. Like to a T. I love having conversations with him. Like he's one of the most amazing, and it's not just him. The men that I work with, y'all, they know it. They know how to do it. I listen to these conversations. And these are all, and I hate to say it, these are all white men. So that's why I say, like, how come they can get it, but other men can't get it? I mean, I'm not trying to make it a racial issue, but I'm just saying that, like, in general, when I watch him, he's like, he knows He takes care of, like, this man has literally a plant nursery in our office, and he takes care of his plant. He nurtures them, but then he knows how to be a husband to his wife. And then now he has his child. He's like, oh yeah, like my wife just had a C-section. So he was like, yeah, she was bedridden. So I took care of all the household duty. He's like, no, my wife ain't going to do all that. He was like, no, I had to make sure she healed. And, and he was just telling me, like, now I realize how hard it is for women, because I had a friend. He was telling me about a friend. He was like, yeah, we don't know how women like that don't have that support from their husbands, how they do it when they come home having a baby. He's like, I can't imagine just sitting there watching my wife do everything for me. He was like, I can't. He was like, I'm active in my father role. And he was just kind of talking to me. And I realized, I was like, so he knows how to operate in both. He knows when to lead and he knows when to rest. And he knows, like, and sometimes his wife takes the lead, and they know how to, like, kind of play that dance. Same thing with Dom and I. Sometimes he wants to just rest and do his thing. And I'm like, okay, do your thing. But sometimes I have to be more assertive and I have to make decisions. Sometimes he's like, honey, you know what? I can't decide. Can you decide for me? Okay, I'm going to decide. Let's go here. Let's go there. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to decide. Can you decide? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like we know how to moderate and how to operate in both within our marriage. So I think that what it is that a lot of people don't realize how important that is. And so that's why we have all of these these conversations that make no sense of, you have to be more feminine. You have to, like, wear lipstick and lip gloss or makeup or whatever. That's not what femininity is. It's your core, who you are as a person, your soul, your core. Yeah. Glad I could make it to the live after church. Oh, Brown Beauty. Hold up. Hey, I used to watch your channel. Hold up. Not you. Wait. I think it is you. Did you used to live in Korea? Sorry to put your business out there, sis. And I'm glad welcome to the live. I actually watched your channel, by the way. So I'm really glad that you commented. And I'm glad you could come after church. To be fair, I'm French. I didn't understand feminine energy. Now I get it. Okay, Evanescence. Sorry, I probably in the beginning of the live, I was a little snarky. I'm sorry if I sounded a bit snarky in my comments. But I had to. It's stuff that I can't explain on videos. It's like sometimes I don't understand how I'm supposed to explain it, but I have to be mindful that some of my viewers are not from North America. So sorry about that, Evanescence, if I sounded snarky in one of my comments. Sorry about that. Yeah, exactly, like telling a model to go 50-50. Yeah, like she clearly wasn't her feminine energy. She's feminine through and through. You can clearly see how she looks, that she wants a man to take that leadership role from the beginning. But the problem is that he was faking it. He faked it. And a lot of people fake it. They'll act like they're about that life. When I said they act like they're about that life, but they're not really about that life, that's what I mean. It's like that he probably was given off that he was going to do that, and then all of a sudden he realizes it's too much for him and he wants her to take the more masculine role, but she doesn't want that. Excuse me. So you have to really truly understand who you are as a person in your core. If you know that you truly want a man to take the lead and take care of you, do not be with a man who has feminine energy, who has more feminine energy, and who doesn't want to operate in his masculine energy. If he's comfortable resting in his feminine energy, best believe he's going to stay there forever. He's not going to change. You need a man who can be in his masculine energy depending on what you want. If you don't mind a man who rests in, if you don't mind a man who does both, then marry a man or find a man who does both, who can be both. But don't be foolish to expect yourself to take the lead in the beginning and then all of a sudden it's going to be in reversal. It doesn't work like that. Most problems can be solved through communication. Ask for what you want and need. Exactly. But many people don't do that. He's a green flag with those characteristics, traits you want to impart. He's amazing. He's such a good man. And I'm telling you, I see a lot of good men around me. So that's how, I really want to give women hope. When I tell y'all I live in a neighborhood full of green flags, I always see them taking their kids out. I even see men having daddy dates. The other day I saw two men walking their kids with their strollers. And you could see their wives having their little coffee time or whatever. The men's was with the kids doing whatever they doing. There are men out there like that. it's not all just these toxic men, I should say. But, you know, there are men out there who know how to operate in both. And unfortunately, there are few far in between now. But anyways, I'm trying to help y'all on this channel. Yeah, that's me. I've been on hiatus lately. Ah! Well, welcome. I used to, you know, it's so crazy because I loved watching your channel. So it's crazy that you're here, but I love it. And welcome, sis. Welcome. I'm glad you got to catch it live. Let me get into what I know my lives be droning on, y'all. My lives be droning on. But let me get into the book that I'm going to talk about. And I have screenshots, y'all. So we're going to get through these screenshots of the book because y'all know I couldn't do the PDF. All right, so this leads me to the book that I'm going to recommend that you guys read for the book club. And it's not just for women. If you're a man and you find this information really informative, you can also, I recommend that you read this book. This is a book that I read when I was hold on a second. Is this it? Hold on. Oh yeah, it is it. This is a book that I read when I was, hold on, it's a screenshot, y'all. I didn't get time to crop it, okay? I didn't have time to crop it. When I was single and I was trying to figure out what I wanted. And I'm like, okay, do I want to get married? If I want to get married, what kind of man do I want? What kind of relationship do I want? This book right here, y'all, I'm going to put it here. It's called Getting to I Do, The Secret to Doing Relationships Right. It's by Dr. Patricia Allen and Sandra Harmon. Now, what I will say is this. I read this book and till now, I'm telling you, it has so many gems in it. And this is a psychologist and she's worked with a lot of couples. So I'm going to read some screenshots from her book. And if you guys are interested in reading more, I highly recommend that you get this book and you read it. And we can kind of go through it at our book club. This will probably be the first book that I recommend on my book club. Book club, yay, daddy dates they are so cute, right? Like I just saw two men with a gang of children, strollers, trying to figure everything out, and then their wives were all the way in the cut doing whatever they was doing. Like it's when I tell you, I see men that are, you know, really good providers here, like where I live. And I don't know if it's because I live in a more suburban I guess city. And a lot of people here, like, okay, so Victoria, BC, if you guys don't know, in Canada, there's a saying here where it's like, this city is for the newlywed and the nearly dead. So you see a lot of retirees or you see newlyweds and families. So I see families all over. Like, my whole complex is families. Like, just families and men. I see a lot of men being men and actually taking care of their wives. And I don't see, like, I'm telling y'all, like, even my coworkers, like, when I talk to them, their husbands provide. Or they have a relationship with their partners, not even husbands. It could be partners because some of them are in just long-term relationships. But you can tell that it's reciprocated and that they take care of each other. And that's what it is. Like, I don't want you guys to feel like you have to settle. That's my point. There are men out there like that. You just gotta know what you want and make sure that you don't idealize or idolize or try to put somebody in a box that they're not in. Like potential. Somebody said she was banking on potential. You don't bank on potential, y'all. It's either he got it or he don't. It's either she has it or she doesn't. Don't bank on potential. I'm telling y'all, that's the way to get you tied up. Amazing. Thank you. Like daddy daycare. We'll definitely be reading it. As a 24-year-old, I could use all the help I can get. Oh, I'm going to read some excerpts from the book, y'all. And then I'm going to wrap this up. Wesley Parang said people really do need to learn what they want in relationships and how they want theirs to be and how to be in a healthy relationship. Would be cool if they taught this in school, but that's asking for too much. Yes, Wesley, for real. It's true. If you know what you want, then it's going to be so much easier for you. My husband's in the chat, y'all. Hi, honey. I know you're here. He's in the next room. I don't know why he... too funny. Hi, ladies. Preach. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to the excerpts. All right. I'm going to read the excerpts for y'all. And then we can make this into a book club. I might read some excerpts next week, but I feel like a book club is enough. Like, I'm telling you, I highly recommend this book. Hold on a second. Hmm. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. Let me get this. I'm watching you. Yo, why is my husband trolling me right now? This man, aren't you supposed to be at the gym right now? Like, why are you trolling me? Hold on, y'all. Let me get the okay, here we go. Sorry, guys. All right. That's what I had to do. Okay. So, you guys are going to just see my screenshots from now. Let me just make this screen wider. Y'all, okay, listen. This is how Romy rolls, okay? All right. So, let's get to it. Oh, wait. No, it didn't share it. Hold on a second. That's not what I wanted to see. Hold on. Let me oh gosh. Okay, here we go. Oh, goodness. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Be patient with your girl. Hold on. Be patient with me. All right. I'm going to make my screen smaller, and then I'm going to add this. There we go. We got it. We got it together. We got it, y'all. Be patient. Okay. Here we go. Getting to I do. All right. So we're going to read this. I got 32 screenshots. Whoever can stay. Okay, so why people aren't getting and staying married. So let's start with this screenshot. All right, I'm going to read it. All right. Dr. Carl Jung said that every man has a feminine feeling side and every woman has a masculine thinking side. But until the 1960s, men who had to go out into the world to become breadwinners repressed their feminine side, while women who married and became homemakers repress their masculine side. See, I told y'all, this is where I got my information. For those of you who question my research, this is where I got a lot of my information, along with other research. In those days, traditional values still prevailed in dating, courtship, and marriage. Premarital sex was frightening because of the risk of pregnancy. Abortions were illegal, dangerous, and accessible to many. Divorce was still a scandal, and good women obeyed their husbands. But in the early 1970s, the feminist movement communicated for the first time on a mass scale. All right, let's read the second screenshot. Listen, we're going to go one by one with this. All right, one by one. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Okay, hold on, y'all. Why can't I just share this? Okay, here we go. Okay. Sorry. All right, but in the early 1970s, the feminist movement communicated for the first time on a mass scale that maleness, or the male qualities that represented success, was something that could be actively pursued by women. Money, power, independence, and prestige were all within a woman's grasp, and for the first time represented something that could be realistically achieved without sacrificing cultural values. What was sacrificed were the traditional roles of male and female that had for generations been the foundation of successful relationships. In fact, women became ashamed, and understandably so, given their new acculturation of being satisfied with the traditional female role. Instead of becoming housewives, secretaries, or teachers, women also became managers, lawyers, college professors, and corporate presidents. All right, y'all still with me? Stay with me here. Okay, let's share the next screenshot. Sorry, y'all, I gotta go one by one. Oh, wait. Did I not? Hold on, where page 21 at? Oh, yeah, page 2. Hold on, where's 2? Uh-oh. Okay, I didn't screenshot number 2. Okay, we gonna jump. Sorry, y'all. Okay, I don't have the screenshot for number 2. We just gonna have to skip it. Y'all get the point. You guys get the point. All right, let's continue to this part. Okay, here we go. All right, so now let's jump to this part because I forgot to screenshot the second one. Okay, do you want it all, or are you willing to compromise to get him or her? Remember, this applies to both. Freud, at the end of his career, asked the question, what do women want? The answer most appropriate today is everything, and that is exactly what is wrong. Women and men who want it all end up with nobody to love. Listen, that's her. She's a doctor, y'all. She know what she's talking about. In today's society, healthy men and women are so ambisexual, so fully both male and female, that they seem to not need each other anymore. Women can earn a living and live alone. Men can cook and live alone. Nobody has to get married to have sex. Serial monogamy, which is a series of short-term monogamous romances, is now the major relating formula of the day. And narcissism, the predominant personality disorder. Y'all, mind you, this was written in 1995. This book was written in 1995. When I tell you guys, sometimes you gotta look in the old books, because the old books have so much, like, a wide range of information. Like, I feel like this applies to today, if not more so than ever. There is nothing wrong with healthy narcissism, because it means that each of us has the right to be a total person with both male and female qualities. We each have the right to think and to feel. We each have the right to our own body. We have the right to be an individual separate from all others. So we have advanced to the place where we can be all by ourselves if we want to be. The problem is, how do we get together? Okay. There are now 4 people in every relationship instead of just 2. His male and his female, and her male and her female. 4 complex creatures who want the freedom to be respected for their thinking and cherished for their feelings, often at the same time. But equality tends to be competitive. Nobody in an equal relationship wants to give up his or her rights. But in romance, only opposites attract. People who are similar repel each other. What is romance? For women, romance means fantasizing. Woo, we gonna get to it, y'all. We get into it. It means fantasizing. Hold up. Let's add the next screenshot. Hold on. Let me pull it up. This is very, very, okay, here we go. All right, I got it up. This means fantasizing that a man cares so much about her that he feels responsible for her and will protect her, be generous to her, and take care of her feelings. He acts like her man. The other side of the deal is that even though she is smart as she is, she's as smart as he is, she will listen to his ideas, defer to his thinking, not challenge him, and not make him prove himself or make him feel inadequate. She becomes his woman. That is the trade-off, and it works. It's equity instead of equality. All right. These days, marriage is seen as an equal partnership, but romantic relationships are not joint ventures between company presidents. They are a corporate structure, including one president who is in charge of ideas and plans, the male energy, and one vice president in charge of feelings and veto rights, the female energy. The male president brings the status and security and is in charge of the material portion of the relationship, money, property, work. The female vice president brings the sensuousness and sexuality, is in charge of abstract spiritual level. While the female has ultimate veto power over the material level, she usually does it his way. When you negotiate a relationship, you exchange commodity goods. If you want marital status and money, male, then you'd better have enough sensuous skills to exchange for his money and status. If you want sensuality and sexuality, female, then you better be willing to come up with the money and the status. All right, hold on. Y'all gonna get to it. We gonna get to it because she really drops a lot of stuff in here. All right, where are we? Screenshot number 5. Okay, we're getting there. Here we go. Okay, so consistent, comprehensive rules of behavior that will take you from the moment of chemical attraction through commitment and beyond. If you choose the female energy, you must learn to dress and behave in a feminine way so you can attract a masculine man and begin a healthy and lasting relationship. She's talking about the norms that are today. She's not talking about, she's not saying she thinks this is right. You'll see soon. If you're with your female energy, you hook up with female energy man instead. You will be both waiting for the other to take lead. If, however, you choose to be the male energy in a relationship, you must look for a feminine energy man to complement you because you will collide with a masculine man instead of negotiating a commitment. A woman can be masculine without castrating a man, or feminine without denying her own personality. The women's movement freed us all to become whatever we want to be. Look, this is it right here. This main point. The women's movement freed us all to become whatever we want to be. Women's suffrage movement. Shout out to the women's suffrage movement. It is Women's History Month. I think it's the last day, or tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day. Shout out to the women who did this for us. Now we can attain any type of romantic relationship we desire, not based on our genitals, but on our own personal yearnings. Look, this is very important, y'all. So today, we can attain any type of romantic relationship we desire, not based on our genitals, but on our personal yearnings, our own personal yearnings. Okay, y'all with me? All right, let's continue. Okay, let's go up here. Sorry. She said that, continuing, I am not attempting to teach men how to be men and women how to be women. This isn't the total woman or the total man. Preach. It is a guide to help you select your style based on your own choice of masculine or feminine energy. And it is not absolute. Eventually, you and your mate can negotiate changes in various aspects of your male and female roles as various needs or desires arise. When women are condemned to sacrificial femininity and are not allowed to think for themselves, the capabilities of their own minds are diminished. When men are condemned to sacrificial masculinity in which their feelings are not considered, they are being used as money and sex machines. I will illustrate how male energy gives first and how female energy gives back to reward male energy. All right. Let me check the comments now. Hey girl, hey, you doing the big with the content lately. Thanks at the Dev Studio. Hey sis, how you doing? How you doing, sis? Block him. Not you telling me to block my husband. Romy, did you read what your face case study man write on his YouTube channel? Ha, I thought of you. What did he write? Hold on. JJ everywhere. Let me know. What did he write? You talking about Junebug? What, he mad? Junebug was mad. Wait, was he my first case? No, my first case study was Bia and Sanghoon. You talking about Sanghoon or Junebug? Which one? They have so much history. I love going to the library and reading these types of self-help book from the past. Yo, when I tell you the self-help book from the past, like, they're the best ones to read. This book right here, I'm telling you guys, like, it really helped me shift my perspective, because I used to think that, let me tell y'all, I went on a deep dive. When I was trying to get out of my Masculina era, quote unquote, I thought that I had to be more feminine. So I'm like, how do I do that? So I started reading up a lot. Like, when I tell you guys, I bought so many books. Y'all, I have so many books. I bought a lot of books. And I kept reading them, and all of them were like, oh, you have to do this, do your hair, and, do this, and you have to, exude feminine energy. And it got tired to keep up with that, because I'm like, I can be both. Like, why do I have to choose one? And when I read her book, I was like, this is it. This is what I want. And ever since I read her book, I applied both energies to my life, and it's been the best ever since. I found my husband, or my husband found me, whichever. We found each other, we'll say that, when I moved to Korea, and that was years after I read that book, because I was operating in the energy that I felt comfortable in. So it's both. And then the funny thing is, I knew I wanted a man to take the initiative. That's why I always say that, because I wanted a man to take initiative. I knew I wanted that. And when my husband did that, I was like, okay, check. But I also wanted a man to respect me and respect my decisions, and love the fact that I was ambitious and that I like to go to school. I wanted somebody to match me. And he does. So it's like, we both know when to turn it on and turn it off. He likes to cook and clean when he's home. He likes an organized house. Isn't that feminine traits? But guess what? That works for us. Because then I can operate in that too. Like, it's like I don't have to tell him to do stuff. He just knows how to do it. He's emotionally intelligent. That's what I wanted. So I found someone who was able to be dual. And he didn't have a problem cooking, cleaning, and doing things that are normally seen as a womanly, feminine thing. He just was like, well, it needs to get done. One of us got to do it. So we both going to do it. Damn it. That's how it works. Yes, haha. He announced their divorce. He said Korea is not favoring Korean spouses like some ignorant foreigners say. Oh. And Linda didn't want to take her daughter with her. Please, this man is a liar. First of all, y'all saw my case studies with Courtney, both Courtneys. So Courtney and I called the other one Rosetta Mask. So you know dang on well that Korea always favors men. I have research about it. This man is delusional. He's delusional. If he thinks that Korean law does not favor the man, he's clearly living in his own delusional world to believe that. And the fact that he said she didn't want to take her daughter with her. You know what? I'm not going to put this man. Let me wait till that situation boils over, because I know she's going to come out. She's going to pop out. I know it. Whether it's this year, next year, or whenever in the future, she will pop out. And the thing is that, of course, she can't take their daughter. She's not able to. She can't financially probably sustain it. This girl was a housewife. This woman was a housewife. So how is she able to take care of her daughter? He's lying. This man is a liar. And he probably took all the funds, all the resources. This man lying like a rug. I remember as a teen reading He's Not That Into. Yes, that book too, it helped me too. I watched the movie too. That movie was good. I was dying reading those Delulu comments of foreign girls telling him he's the best father ever. Yeah, he's looking for his next victim. Just best believe. That man. Anyway, let me continue, y'all. Y'all gonna get me on a tangent. Okay, what is male and what is female? We're gonna get into that. And then I'm gonna take a quiz with you. You guys are gonna take a quiz. We're gonna take a quiz together. And then y'all gonna let me know, like, we're gonna take a quiz that she put in her book. And you guys will decide your answers. Hold on a second. Okay, let's get into this one. This one's good. What is a male and what is a female? So Western culture has traditionally cast men as the protectors, leaders, and predominant doers. Men have traditionally proposed to women, have conferred status upon women, and have been the security providers. Women, on the other hand, have been the domesticators, the followers, the recipients. They have made themselves available to the life plans of men, responsive to male needs until their own separate needs for status and security began to emerge. Maleness, in these terms, is the pragmatic, functional way in which we handle work, the initiator of action. It is the verbal, the left lobe of the brain. Femaleness is the passive, the receptive, and the emotional. It can be represented by nonverbal energy. Its function in traditional terms is to serve as an outlet for emotion and as moral brake. It can be seen as a stable center that allows a relationship to develop and be maintained. Although both male and female elements are vital to the makeup of both men and women, I believe that for a relationship to be healthy and successful, they must be reconciled and become complementary to each other. In other words, there can only be one male and one female in every relationship. Which would rather be? Okay, so she's basically saying, like, look, it's not about gender, it's about energy. So someone's going to have to operate in some type of energy. All right, let's get into the compatibility. I'm going to continue. How much time I got? Okay, I got a little bit of time. Y'all still with me? And if you can't, catch the replay. Y'all catch the replay if you can't stay. Okay. Hold on. Wait, why is it not showing up? Hold on, y'all. Oh, I didn't pull it up. My bad, y'all. My bad. A successful relationship. Okay, I'm pulling it up right now. I'm pulling it up. So this is what she says a successful relationship needs. Let me do it again. Okay, so as I have said, the first thing you must do is choose to be the male or female energy and find a mate who complements you. Oops. Oh, my bad, y'all. My bad. Here we go. Okay. And find a man who complements you. Then you must learn how to build a successful relationship. That's if you want a relationship, guys. I'm not forcing you guys to. I'm just saying for those who want a relationship. A successful relationship has 3 components: chemistry, compatibility, and communication. Chemistry is lust, the immediate attraction to one another. You can't do anything about chemistry. You're either attracted to someone or you're not. Compatibility is how much you both like each other. And that often involves sharing common interests, enjoying the same things, having the same goals. Communication includes verbal as well as emotional communication, sex and affection, as well as spiritual communication. Communication is the key to intimacy in any situation. When problems arise in communication, negotiations and intimacy fail and give way to intimidation and seduction. So those are the 3 things she thinks, and she's seen a lot of couples, y'all. This is a therapist, so she knows what she's talking about. All right, let's continue. The perfect phase. I have found that in relationships, every 3 months or so, a crisis erupts that spins the relationship significantly forward or backward. Because of this, the first year of every relationship has 4 distinct phases, almost like the changes in seasons. So this is according to her. Number 1, the perfect phase is the first 3 months. If this phase were a season, it would be summer, when you feel warm and malleable towards each other. The chemical attraction is strong between the 2 of you. You both look right to one another, dress right, talk right, and your manners are correct. Everything is perfect. You have met your ideal mate. All right, that's the honeymoon phase. Yeah, honeymoon. Number 2, the imperfect phase occurs during the second 3 months. This period is a bit like autumn when things start to cool down. People who have a fear of intimacy, the 90-day wonders, as I call them, usually like to abort the relationship between the 3rd and the 6th month. Whew. All right. Let me read the next screenshot. This screenshot number 8. Okay, let's get rid of this one. Let me pull up number 8. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Bear with me, y'all. I can only do them one at a time. I should put this in a PDF actually, but I want you guys to buy the book because I think she worked really hard on it. Okay, next. As soon as the perfect period is over, these couples run off to seek another perfect person. Oh, what is that? The third 3 months make up the negotiable phase, when you and your prince face the cold, hard facts about each other and decide. Hold on. Okay, yeah, sorry. I got lost, y'all. I got lost. And decide whether or not you can accept the other's faults and adjust to the problems within the relationship. If you find you are more compatible than incompatible, that you like each other more than not, you will begin to negotiate a commitment. There are 4 primary areas in which you negotiate. 1, so A, money. Mine, yours, and ours. How do we handle it and who does the handling? B, space. Should we live at your place, my place, or as I suggest? She suggests! Remember, y'all was wait, let's stop right here. Because my fellow ladies who like to shack up, sorry, I call them the shack up girls. My fellow ladies who like to cohabitate, they was getting at me at the Bia and Sanghoon situation because I said that, hey, it doesn't make sense to shack up with somebody if you're not going to be tied down together and y'all not serious and y'all not heading towards marriage or something, partnership, who knows? I know some people who are together and they don't necessarily want to get married, but they live separately. Why do you need to combine everything together? She said, I suggest. Okay, she said that. Or as I suggest, separately until engaged or married. She's a therapist. She knows what she's talking about. How do we handle big maintenance items and chores between us? C, time. My, your, and our time. How do we allocate each? Play. What activities I want to do with you, without you? What do we want to do together? What activities do we want to do with others? All right. So now she goes into flexibility in the role of behavior is the mode of this period. So flexibility. You try to be flexible, getting to know each other. Each person is coming out more uniquely than in the earlier phases of the relationship. So your personality starts to show. The mask falls off. So this is a time when you begin to negotiate an interchanging of masculine and feminine roles based on each partner's personal preference. And then finally, the commitment phase is the last 3-month process. Like a new spring, this period provides new life to the relationship, is the foundation for permanence. Okay. So these are the phases, y'all. These are the phases. Take notes. Take notes. I'm giving y'all the pretty much, I want to say the blueprint, but this is a lot. So let's hold on. I'm gonna skip a little bit because I have a lot of screenshots and I don't want to take too much time. So I'm just trying to pull up excerpts that I know that will help you guys, especially like, maybe you don't have time to read. So I'll just give it. Okay. Okay. This is very important, y'all. And then we're going to get to the quiz and then I'm going to wrap up today. So I hope you guys have more time. Maybe next time you can put the screenshots in a PPT more accessible. I know that's, yeah, I didn't have time, y'all. I didn't have time, but it's okay. Yeah, I will do that next time and have it in a PPT. I should have done that actually. Do I have time to do that now? But then I'd have to put them together. I'd have to save it. Yeah, I did this because you know what it is I saw this like last I remembered this book because I was like, hey, I have a book. And then I found it. And then I was like, oh, shoot, I got to take screenshots. But it's okay, y'all. It's okay. Y'all going to be okay today. All right. What am I doing here? Okay. So then I'm trying to see if there's a way I can just show all of them at once. I don't know why it's not letting me. Or maybe I should, you know what? Maybe I should screen share my desktop and then that'll be easier. Okay, probably. I'll do it after this one. I'll see if I can do that. All right. Is giving masculine or feminine? Okay. I feel like she meant to say, is it giving masculine or feminine? But this was 1995. She probably was like, oh, I don't know how to say this. But in modern times, is it giving masculine or feminine? Like Leslie. Okay, so she talked about a woman who was in her masculine energy and another woman who was in her feminine energy. Her name was Leslie, but I skipped that part. Y'all don't need to know that. This is very important. Like Leslie, excuse me, many women have been trained in some cases by their feminine fathers who wanted them to be another mommy. That giving is a feminine skill and receiving is That giving is a feminine skill and receiving is the right and privilege of the real man. These women feel they have to get out there and do something in order for a man to love them. Whew. It frustrates me when a young man comes into my office complaining. So she's talking about herself as a therapist. I take her out on one date and she calls me for 3. I buy her 1 dinner and she has me over for 4 dinners. I send her a card. She sends me a fabulous gift. Then his girlfriend comes into my office and says, I treat him so well. Why won't he give me commitment? In a rational family, a woman is taught to love herself first. If, however, she is raised in a family where her father wanted his feelings taken care of before his wife's or daughter's and did not give back lovingly, she cannot develop self-love. An example of this kind of man would be an alcoholic, a workaholic, a violent or abusive man, or one who expressed high performance expectations of his daughter. This is a good one right here. Let me make the distinction between the healthy identification of a girl with her father. Remember, I said that last week, daddy issues. And again, somebody came to me and was like, oh, it's not fair. I think it's biased. You should talk about how some men are kept from seeing their daughters. And I'm like, that doesn't change the fact that they needed to be active in their kid's life. Sorry, I can't make excuses for men. I just can't. All right. Next. Andrea. Okay, I guess this is Andrea, is the other girl she was talking about. And a young woman who is not cherished by her father, but is only validated by him if she performs. This kind of woman will usually be a mother to the men in her life. When they are under the age of 5, a healthy mother loves her children better than herself. However, when the children get older, she better start switching back to being self-centered. This is important, y'all. A lot of our moms were too selfless. They were too selfless. They didn't know how to be themselves after a while. They were just mommy the whole time. And till now, they're still mommy. Some of our moms are still mommy. They don't know how to let go. Or they lost their identity and they don't know who they are. This is problematic. And she said that. She said, when the children get older, so for my moms out there, if you are a mother, I would highly recommend you look into this. She better start switching back to being self-centered. If you look back at your own childhood and your mother was giving, protecting, and cherishing her family, you're seeing someone who forgot to go back to her womanhood after she had her babies. Mothering is a terminal illness. Damn, she done classified it like it's cancer. She said it's a terminal illness. I've never heard. Okay, I forgot about this part of the book. Hold up, doctor, you spitting some words. Hold up. She said it's a terminal illness. Like cancer. What? Mothering is a terminal illness when used on able-bodied people over the age of 5 who can do for themselves. Damn, doctor, you ain't playing. 1995, y'all. This was over 25 years ago. No, over 30 years ago. Yeah, people who are 95 or 30 now. This book was written over 30 years ago. Dr. Spitting. Let me go find out what she's doing. I need to follow up to this book. I read this book, y'all, and I didn't even know it was that powerful till now because I'm reading it over. Okay. Women who mother their husbands eventually either drive them away or subdue them until they cannot stand alone. Whoo, Lordy Lord. Lordy Lord. This right here. This little part right here. Doctor, this alone, this close chapter closed. I might as well close the book right now. But I'm going to continue. Oh, Lord. All right, let's continue. Sorry, y'all. I keep drinking this bubbly and it's carbonated water and it's making me a little gassy. Unfortunately, many women never get over an attack of motherhood. One of my male clients told me that his wife changed into a mother when she gave birth and remained primarily a mother. That man lost his woman to his son. That's why they be getting jealous. A lot of men get jealous when women have children. But the problem is, I'll be honest, a lot of women don't know how to, like she said, you don't know how to switch to being self-centered. You start staying a mommy until forever. And no one teaches you that because you saw your mom doing that and her mom doing that. But doctor's saying that's actually not healthy. And that is unhealthy. She literally just said that. And that is unhealthy. Any parent who puts a child ahead of his or her mate is not married in the real sense. In my opinion, that person can be legally bound, but not intimately married. You remember Aisha Curry, Stephen Curry's wife. A few months ago, she was talking about how she prioritizes her husband before her children, and people drug her all over the internet. But she's basically saying what this doctor is saying, this therapist who has seen many a married couple. And she said this: you need to know how to balance. Some of us don't know how to balance. We have not been taught that. That's with everything in life. Somehow we know how to balance checkbooks. We know how to do that. We know how to balance things that don't matter, but the things that do matter, we don't know how to balance. That is craziness. That's craziness. And she's saying it. And I remember Aisha Curry, people, like some people understood. I was like, yeah, what's the problem? But a lot of people are like, oh, you know, you're the reason why children, da 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 da. And I'm like, no, she's being realistic. Mama needs to take care of herself too. Why does mama need to be a mommy 24/7? Eventually, once a kid is able-bodied, especially a man, you need to let go. Get him off your titty. Get him off. But some women, they like to feel needed, and then they wonder why their family is so dysfunctional. Doesn't make sense. All right, sorry, y'all. Let's continue. All right. Any parent, I read that already. Okay, let's continue. Okay. When a woman is selfless with a son over 5, okay, this is very important. When a woman, sorry y'all, hold on a second. Okay. When a woman is selfless with a son over 5, she is doing him a great disservice because he will have the impression that all women should be givers. So for all my mama's boys, this is what can explain why a lot of the men that I covered are mama's boys. This will cause problems in his relationships with women, and he can easily become the kind of man Dan Keeley talks about in his book, The Peter Pan Syndrome. I'm gonna need to read Dan Kiley's book. I'm gonna pick that up. That'll be the next book. Next book on the book club. We reading this one. These are narcissistic little boys who have not grown into healthy manhood. They do not have the ability to love, protect, cherish, give back, or assume responsibility. These are all the men I'm talking about in my case study. And I told you that behind every narc is an enabling mother. This makes sense. A Peter Pan type of man expects his woman to take better care of him than of herself. He will get her to make the dinner or theater reservations, lend him money, pick him up for a date, or pick out. Oh, this is getting good. All right, let's get to the next screenshot, y'all. Let's get to the next screenshot. Whew. Doctor, I didn't expect this. I forgot how good this book was. And I read this in my 20s. I think I read it like, this was a long time ago I read this book. I got this book like years ago. In my 20s. I am now in my late 30s. I'm almost 40. So this book it has proven with the test of time. Sorry y'all. Okay, here we go. It's back up. Okay, so now his mother's birthday present. Okay, so she's saying that man's going to expect you to take care of everything because he's too busy to do it himself. Unless you want to be his mother, you must learn to say no to these requests. Boundaries, y'all, boundaries. I said that in the last case study. The feminine energy is not giving because giving is action, and femininity, whether in men or women, is passivity. For a true balance of energy, women must give back to men who graciously give. Doctor said it. For a true balance of energy, women must give back to men who graciously give, protect, and cherish them first. What did I say? I said that in the live. You give back to people who deserve it. But the problem is these women are giving all of that to the dusties. And it's continuing a pattern and cycle of you creating more dusty behavior. Because then y'all got that dynamic in the household. And then you raise children who see that dynamic and it keeps repeating. And then when some of us go into the dating world, we're confused. Because how is this possible? But these men are expecting this. Let's continue. When a man can give, protect, and cherish his woman above himself, he has matured to selflessness. And he will be rewarded by those he loves. But instead of giving, protecting, and cherishing his woman above himself, he says that's not fair. That's the ungrateful man, the selfish man. Why do I have to give first? Why doesn't she give first? My mom gave to my dad and they've been married 35 years now. Remember, I told you about family dynamics. My answer is your mom was selfless, therefore masculine, and your dad was feminine or a Peter Pan, depending on whether he was able to give back or not. See, when you see all these men, what do they call them? Weaponizing competence. When they sit at home having their wife do everything for them and they say it's masculinity. No, the woman is being the masculine one. Best believe he is a feminine man. And people don't want to hear that. They get mad at me when I say that. But that's what I'm talking about. Whew, Lord. A masculine energy man does not marry a woman who gives to him unless he is a little boy who wants to be mothered. Y'all. Oh, Lord. She done told y'all. Listen. A masculine energy man does not marry a woman who gives to him unless he is a little boy who wants to be mothered. You hear that, Jamie? You hear that? And it's not just him, because he ain't even saying nothing. So I can't even blame him. To all the women that was telling me to have compassion for Jamie, where's the compassion here? I told y'all, when I go hard on them, it's because I'm going by what I researched. This is not normal behavior. It's childish. That's why I said that they're childish. I've called men man babies, man child. I've called them, what I called them? Feminine. What else did I call? I called one a potato. Don was like, what's a potato? I said somebody who just sits there. The potato just sits. I've called them so many names. And it's because I know what I'm talking about, y'all. This is research. This, according to psychologists, therapists, anybody who has some type of sense and education, they know that this pattern is not normal. But then y'all want to get mad at me because you see your mama do all that, and that's what a woman is. Hold on a second, y'all. That's what a woman is. That's what y'all done seen. So they think it's normal. Oh, my mom did all that and she was masculine. She's not feminine at all. Your father is feminine. But it's the energy. That's what I said. It doesn't matter. And they think because you're a man, you have masculine energy. No, we all have dual energy. How many times I have to say that? Whew, let's continue. Doctor talking. Thank you, doctor. We're listening. And thank you for your work and thank you, doctor, for your body of work. I need to go thank her. Matter of fact, I'm going to go email her after this. Let me go email her and tell her thank you for writing this and for doing a study on this. Even though many people don't. 1995, y'all. 1995. We're in 2025, 30 years later, and this is even more relevant. Oh, Lord. A masculine man marries a feminine woman who is available to receive from him, who respects him for giving, not respects him for being a bum, and who knows how to give back to reward him, but always a little less than what she gets. It's reciprocated, y'all. I'm not going to give my husband props if my husband, let me tell you, and I'm not saying that because I don't want it to seem like we're perfect. We're humans at the end of the day. But one thing I could say about that man is he is consistent with his giving. Since day one, communication on lock. I never had to worry about my husband coming from day one, even before we even dated. While we were friends, I told y'all, he checked up on me every day. Never not checked up on me. Always made sure I was straight. Always make sure, hey, honey, what do you need? He's at the gym right now. He'll text me right now and be like, hey, honey, I'm outside. I'm about to go to the store. Do you need anything? Communication. Emotional intelligence. So why wouldn't I give him the best and be my best true self at home? When I turn this off, I am probably the most feminine you guys will ever see. Because he deserves me to be that way. And of course, like I said, I'm dual, so I can be both. But with that man, he gets whatever he wants because he does a lot for me. But imagine if I'm doing all that for a Dusty. Lord. Let's continue. So, sorry, I gotta go back, y'all. A masculine man marries a feminine woman who is available to receive from him, who respects him for giving, and who knows how to give back to reward him, but always a little less than what she gets. That might mean cooking a nice meal, occasionally taking him to a movie or a theater, or giving him a little gift or card that he might like. The only stipulation is that she not give back more than he has given her, which would put him in the feminine receiver position and perhaps make him feel smothered as well. I done told y'all, I called a man feminine in the last video. Y'all want to get mad at me. He was feminine. His wife was doing all the heavy lifting. What is wrong with me saying he was feminine? I know what I'm talking about. But then she wanted a masculine man. Ma'am, you can't have it both ways. You're not supposed to give more. That's exactly what doctor's saying. She not give back more than he has given her. You need to know when to stop. If you are a healthy feminine woman, you are self-centered. Thank you. I'm telling you, I operate in that. I'm not doing nothing that's going to be too hard for me. And people can say, oh, you selfish. Why are you not this? Why? Because I'm not doing it. You love yourself first. You know what? Let's spend time on this. If you are a healthy feminine woman, you are self-centered. You love yourself first before any man. Period. Then you share what you love with your man and your loved ones. Me first, then you. But then we got it all twisted. We got it all twisted. And I could blame that. And you know what? It's patriarchy. Again, patriarchy, traditional roles, what we've been taught. And it's not necessarily, I can't even put it on religion because nowhere, you don't see that. There's one that says, husband, love your wives as you love the church. But also, women, love your husbands too. It's reciprocated. Where did we go wrong, y'all? Ladies, where did we go wrong? Because now I'm seeing people talking about have compassion for groomers. Don't call Dusty's feminine. What are we doing? When I tell you guys, I get more negative comments from women telling me to protect men that act like this. It's wild. Want me to big up a Dusty. Where they do that at? Like this, that's why I say I live in a twilight zone. Like, I don't know, but it's gotten so bad. My goodness. All right, let's continue. You say no to people, places, and things that hurt you in any way. Guys, this is all doctor, I'm gonna need to go. I'm telling you, I'm gonna email the doctor and be like, your book has helped me years ago, and now it's helping my beautiful family here. Okay, you say no to whatever strikes you as unethical. Absolutely. You say no to the man you love. You say, I don't feel good about it. Exactly. That's what I said. I said that. I was like, if you're a real woman, you're not going to let your man make decisions that's going to harm y'all. Why would I do that? Why would I because he's a man, you're just supposed to listen to him. For what? Why do I need to listen to him? If I know that this is not going to help me, why would I do that? Like, why would I do that? If I know it's not going to help us as a family, I'm going to put my foot down. Because sometimes your man could be delusional. And you have to be the voice of reason. But no, stand by your man. Let him take you through whatever, to the poorhouse. Let him make decisions. And you're just supposed to follow and just be there as a good wife. Feminine. That's a feminine man. I keep telling y'all that. Those are not real male. And when I say people, sorry, yo. Sometimes I be so passionate I laugh at myself. When I said somebody was a child cosplaying as a man, this is what I'm talking about. Just bumming. It should disgust all of us. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm laughing because it's like they cosplay as men and then they want to get our respect. It doesn't work that. I'm going to disrespect you every time because you should be ashamed. And then women coming in the comments, don't do him like that. Yes, I'm going to do him like that. He needs to be disrespected because there ain't no way you thought this was normal. We need to normalize that. How about that? Normalize men who are cosplaying. Normalize outing men who are cosplaying as men. Children who are acting like men. We need to normalize outing them and making them feel ashamed of that. They should be. You're too grown for that. So remember, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. No matter who is demanding. The casting couch, the boardroom couch, the marriage bed, the cash register, the baby bassinet all invite a confused woman to sell out. She's called y'all sellouts. They all invite a confused woman to sell out her total balanced life, which should be designed by herself, for herself, and no others. And then they want to call us, women are so self-centered. Y'all modern women are selfish. Doctors telling you to do that. Be selfish. Be picky. Be choosy. Don't fall for it. I promise y'all. You don't want to do that. If, however, a woman chooses to be the masculine energy, to be selfless and love others ahead of herself, and she is comfortable doing so, she will thrive. That's what I said. You operate in the energy that works best for you. Masculine men like being needed. Sounds like a mommy. But feminine men do not. They don't like being needed. They don't like it. They like to receive. They are more comfortable with a woman who likes to take responsibility, leaving him to be the more artistic, fun element in their relationship. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to know who you're dating. Both styles are appropriate for their complementary woman. A masculine energy man with a feminine energy, receiving woman. And a feminine energy man with a giving masculine energy woman. One selfless giver and one self-centered receiver makes a perfect loop and a fertile medium for sex and romance. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm selfish as hell. I'm selfish as hell. And my husband is selfless. And I ain't gonna lie. Like sometimes I'll be like, am I too selfish? But now, thank you, doctor. You just reinforced it for me. It's okay to be selfish. It's okay. It's okay. Because that's what I want. Whew, Lord. Okay, now she gets into an example of Fran. Fran, the manager of a beauty supply house, and Jack, who worked in an art gallery, met at a coffee house, liked each other, and exchanged cards. As often happens, they intuitively sensed each other's sensitivity and found it magnetic. Jack generally felt more comfortable when the woman he was interested in took the risk to signal him that he was wanted. So he liked the woman to initiate everything. Like I said, if that works for you, that's fine. But do not expect him to then transition to a masculine. It doesn't work like that. If you pursue him, that means that more than likely he loves being and is comfortable in his feminine energy. And he's going to expect you to lead every time. And if that's something that you want, like I said in the past videos, then go for it. But if you know you are naturally not a masculine energy person, you feel more comfortable receiving, then do not chase that man. Why are you doing that? It's so backwards. Counterintuitive. Continue. Okay. Fran felt the same way about men. Both put a priority on magnetic feminine energy rather than a dynamic masculine energy. Before their relationship could move forward, one of them had to decide to be masculine and speak up, asking for a date of some type. In this case, neither of them made the move, and the exchange cards only reminded each of a lost chance. All right, then she goes into another example. Dottie, a secretary, and Thomas, a policeman, also failed to have a relationship because both wanted. All right, let's pull it up. Both wanted to be in charge. Hold on. Let's delete this one. Let's delete. And yes, shout out to the person who said I should have done a PDF. I definitely, next time I will. I will next time. All right. They both wanted to be in charge. They met through a dating service and had a good time on their first date. Although Thomas made it clear that he liked to be in control of a relationship and would be in touch with her, Dottie couldn't wait and called him a few days. She was impatient. She wanted him so bad. Much to his annoyance. They don't like that. If he's not, like I said, it's a mirror. I said that in one of my videos. I forgot which one. It's mirroring. I had to learn that. If he's not interested, if he's not because I always want, like I said, I want a man to initiate and take the lead. That's what I'm comfortable with. And so the only way that it was going to work is if he keeps initiating for me. But don't be that girl. If you want him to initiate, leave him alone. Let him contact you and go after you. You don't do that. Do not do that. You're just wasting your time. Because he's not going to like it. Only feminine men like that. If you're a masculine woman, you like to be a masculina, then it's okay. You can be a masculina. But again, you cannot take the lead and then expect him to then reverse it. Then you're going to be in your feminine, he going to be in his masculine. It don't work like that, especially in the beginning. It does not work like that. All right. Although Thomas made it clear that he liked to be in control of a relationship, blah, blah, blah. Okay, she called him a few days later. In fact, he asked her not to call again. He said it. Don't call me, girl. I don't like that. And he never again called her. He didn't like that. It turned him off. Dottie had to learn that she must either find a feminine man who likes being chased or be a feminine woman who will wait to be chased. You got to make a decision, y'all. Make a choice. Make a choice. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. In my seminar, Dottie learned that she really preferred being the more passive feminine energy. Yeah, that masculine energy that she gave was because she had a fear or some type of attachment style. Maybe she didn't want to be rejected. That probably made her feel anxious. She sounds anxious because she called him. She's like, oh, he's not interested. Let me make the move. At the seminar, Arnold, an aspiring television writer, decided that he preferred to be the masculine leader with a feminine woman. That's what he wants. Now, again, do you have to always operate in that? No. But in your relationship, you have to choose a role and then choose how much. Like, for example, like I said, my feminine energy is higher in my marriage than my masculine energy. Dom's masculine energy is higher than his feminine energy. But could he do some things that are deemed as feminine? Yes, absolutely. That's not what it is. What it is that you have to choose how it works for your relationship. You can't just want to take the lead and be a Masculina and then expect him to take the lead after. All right. So now they met one evening at the social hour I hold after each seminar. Dottie liked Arnold, smiled at him, and waited for him to approach her. He did approach and began talking, then asked her for a date, which she accepted. When Arnold began courting her by taking her out and buying her presents, Dottie managed to always give back less, which made Arnold feel good. Because let me tell y'all, a masculine man will never like when you do for him. They don't like that. I'm going to give y'all an example. My husband bought me AirPods for Christmas. I didn't know that. I got him an iPad because I was like, hey, he's going to start school. So let me go get him something that's going to make him be able to do his designs and stuff. He's starting a brand. If you guys don't know, you guys can follow his channel, Dominic Bjorn. He's going to talk about that. And he's doing his competition and stuff, whatever. So I got him an iPad. When I tell you that man was so uncomfortable, he's like, wait, no. Your gift is way better than mine. He went out the next day and got me my MacBook, 2025 MacBook Pro. He went out, he's like, oh no, you're not going to do that. He's like, He went and got me that MacBook. He's like, you know what? You say you need a new laptop? Swipe. He got me a case, got me a MacBook, got me the earbuds. Because he didn't know I was going to get him the iPad. But that's how uncomfortable he felt about it. He was like, oh, no. He was like, no, I love it. He was like, I love the gesture, but I'm going to have to do my big one. That's my point. A man who leads in masculinity, they will not be comfortable with you giving too many gifts. They don't like that. Only a feminine man likes that shit. Oh, excuse my language. Sorry for the language on a Sunday. My bad, Lord. My bad. I'm watching my mouth. All right. Next, where was I? Which made Arnold feel good. They were opposites in energy and complemented each other enough to function without many collisions or power plays. If you are a given masculine energy woman who wants to go feminine, stop giving and sit passively until he gets the message and talks to you about negotiating a more balanced deal. Don't give advice, since that is more giving. They don't like that. A few months ago, a woman named June. Dang, she giving examples, y'all. Hold on. I don't have much left of this. She giving so many examples. A few months ago, a woman named June, the beautiful owner of a talent agency, came to my women's group to deal with her boyfriend of 2 years, Sam. He insisted she do all the long distance driving from her house to LA. Child, this man was feminine. To his house in Long Beach. This man wanted her to drive the whole time. He didn't even feel like he had the need to go see her. That's already an issue, but all right, let's continue. Back where he constantly invited other people to join them on their dates as a way of blocking intimacy. A feminine man. He refused to consider marriage. This man sound like a Dusty. June had agreed to his terms. You see, she was so desperate. She agreed to it. Lacking a strong sense of self. All right, let's continue. Ooh, June is making me tired right now. Hold up. I already know. She lacks self-esteem, y'all. She lacks self-esteem. Lord. And we've all been there, so I can't even say much about that. But hell, we got to grow out of that, man. It took me I had to really grow out of that. When I tell you I woke up real fast. She feared that if she left Sam, no one else would want her. Is that sunken cost fallacy or cost sunken fallacy? Whichever one it is. After a few group sessions, however, June decided, although reluctantly, to put her foot down and stop driving to see Sam. She should have been stopped. Shakily, why you shaking, sis? Shakily, she told him so. He immediately began driving to see her. You see, because he knew he was going to lose that access to that punani. So he's like, oh no, I gotta start. Let me start moving. June found that the less she gave to Sam, the more he gave to her. And as a result, June began to feel more desirable and saw Sam as less so. In fact, she began to see him in a different light. She was unattracted. It was a turnoff because she got some self-esteem. He seemed superficial and shallow, and now because she was more confident and grounded in her self-love, she realized that this would not be the kind of man she wanted to invest her life in. Yo, Sam is a big red flag. And I'm glad, what's her name? Dottie? June? Was it June? Whatever. She woke up. Sister woke up. She made a very strong decision and broke off the relationship. Now, instead of calling Sam, she called group members when the urge to see him arose and duty dated to distract herself while waiting for a man who could offer her a better deal. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Call your friends if you feel like you're going to have a moment of weakness because you missed that, you know what I'm talking about. If you miss him, call your friends. Don't text him or text a random shadow number. But do not text him. Do not go back on your word if you know he's not good for you. What does all this mean in terms of a stereotypical image of self-sacrificing woman? It means that image is wrong. Like I told y'all, it's wrong. There's no such thing as a good wife or self-sacrificing woman. That's just for the dusties and the feminine and the lazy men. That's it. This is a thing. And there's nothing wrong with a man being feminine. That's not what I'm saying. My point is that when it's dysfunctional femininity, this is what happens. They don't want to do nothing. Nothing at all. That's dangerous. That's not the man you should be with. You need to be with a man who knows how to operate in healthy feminine energy. That man was not healthy. Making her drive. First of all, it's dangerous to drive all types of hours just so she could do everything. All the heavy lifting so he could be comfortable. Chill. All right, she broke it up with him, and then she did the duty dates. Okay, it means that the image is wrong. So of the self-sacrificing woman image is wrong. This image is exactly the one that the women's movement is confronting, often to the point of going to the extreme polarity. Sometimes women are advocating not only don't give, but don't even give back or just be yourself. You don't need him and you need to compromise for him. You don't need to compromise for him, sorry. But somewhere between demanding individual rights and melding into a relationship lies my premise of giving and giving back. Yeah, so she's saying that it's okay to have a balance, basically. If you choose to be the feminine energy in a relationship, please take this pledge. Damn, she gave y'all a pledge. Hold up. She gave y'all a pledge. She said, okay, this is the pledge. If you choose to be the feminine energy in a relationship, please take the pledge. So all my ladies who want to be feminine, this is the pledge we're going to take. I promise never to give anything to a man unless he's under 5 years. She put it in all caps. Doctor is, you know what? Doctor sounds like my type of doctor. I really need to see her. She said, if you choose to be the... Oh, wait. Am I sharing this? Hold on a second. Oh, yeah, I am. I promise to never give anything to a man unless he is under 5 years of age or sick in bed, unless there is something in it for me first. Boom. This right here is... This is it. Mic drop. Mic effing drop. All right. So now we have a quiz. Who's up for a quiz? Say yes. Y'all gonna have to say yes because I need to know who's still here. I know it was long. It was long. It was long. Are you the woman you think you are? Who wants to take this quiz together? Y'all gonna let me know. Who wants to take this quiz? Hold on. Let me read some comments here. Am I still on live? Let me make sure. Because y'all, I know sometimes live be weird. Let me go on my YouTube and make sure I am still live. Hold on a second. Oh my God, that person looks like me. Hold on. Let me read some comments. Oh, okay, here we go. All right. Oh, you guys are still here. Okay, my bad, y'all. My bad. I was talking so much and reading so much. I didn't know I was still on. Okay. Who said they late? Ali Cartwright. Yeah, you missed a lot. You'll catch a replay. I'm going to put it on the replay. Don't worry about that. You can catch a replay. Mooching bumps. Sorry, Timmy. I know you're 6 years old and need a ride to scooter practice, but you need to get your life in order. Yes. We still here. Okay, y'all still here. Okay. We doing the quiz and then we done. And I'm going to give y'all the answers and we going to wrap it up today. And if you guys want, I can read more excerpts next week. I'll have the PDF though. Not the screenshots. Y'all can tell. This is what happens when you this is what happens with me, y'all. This happens. Okay, let's take the test. And y'all are really gonna answer this honestly. Please get a pen and paper or write it on your phone or whatever, your notes, and really take this test, y'all. Because this test helped me. I was like, oh yeah, I like to operate in my feminine, so I need to chill. I took that pledge, y'all. I took that pledge real seriously. I was like, oh no, I'm never gonna do this again. I'm never giving. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys like the live, man. Like, honestly, it warms my heart. And who knew? Like, I read that book years ago and never knew that I was going to read it. Like, I was going to use it for today. Imagine years ago when I was going through my little transformation from a reformed Masculina. All right. So let's do it. Are you the woman you think you are? So please, y'all, write this down. All right. We're going to take a quiz here. And you can catch a replay. If you're in the replay, then you can take the quiz. Check the letter A, B, or C that most reflects the way you would behave in the situation. Your answers are evaluated at the end of the question section. So we're going to go through the answers together. The name of the book is Getting to I Do. Getting to I Do by Dr. What was her name again? Hold on. Let me pull it up. Getting to I Do. I think her name was Dr. Allen. Hold on. Let me here. I'll give you the link through Amazon. Let me give you. Hold on. Let me sign out because I don't want y'all to see my Amazon thing. I'm technically not supposed to be promoting Amazon, to be quite honest with you. I'm boycotting them, but y'all could go to the bookstore and get it. It doesn't have to be through Amazon. I'm just giving y'all the link. Okay, here we go. So here it is. It's here's the Amazon link, and the title of the book is Getting to I Do, and it's by Pat Allen. I think her name is Dr. We gonna put some respect on her name. Dr. Patricia Allen and Dr. Sandra Harmon. It was co-authored. Them ladies, they did us a favor. Thank you, ladies. That's why I say women help women. Women helping women. Because they really didn't have to make this book for us. But they did it. They helped us out. Okay. So check the letter A, B, or C that most reflects the way you would behave in a situation. Your answers are evaluated at the end of the questions. I think I said that. All right. Number 1, you enjoy living alone because A, you don't have to deal with other people. B, you have more time to work. Or C, you enjoy the time it affords you after work to please yourself. All right. Y'all going to answer that. Number 2, you and your fiance are buying a house. You have more money to invest than he does. What do? You got more. A, put in more money. B, put in your half share only. Or C, expect him to provide a house for you. Answer honestly, y'all. Don't fool yourself. If you know you wanna rack it up, You want to spend, you want to put the money? Be honest with yourself, y'all. This is really going to be a quiz to be an honest assessment, y'all. Don't manipulate your answer to sound a certain way. Really be honest with yourself. Seriously. That's my honest advice. Number 3, you enjoy working more than playing because A, playing is feeling self-centered and you do not want to waste time. B, work produces money with which you can exert influence and greater control. Or C, your father expected performance from you and rewarded you with love. All right, I'm going to answer that. Number 4, your boyfriend likes to camp out and you don't. What do you do? Go along and be a good sport. That's A. B, stay at home or stay home because you don't want to go. Or C, insist he give up his hobby. All right. So let's move on. Someone read, have you ever read the Scum Manifesto? The politics? No, I haven't. Yo, thank you. Let me write this down. Hold on, y'all. Scum. Okay, I'm going to read that. Thank you for these. I'll probably add those to the book club. I want to read the Peter Pan Syndrome one next, the one she referenced in her book. And then, yeah, we could keep this book club going. We'll read different books. I love reading books. I wish someone told me sooner. Cocoa Puffs. Yeah, you said it took you so long to figure this out. Honestly, I was a little late. I wish someone told me. Me too. Me too, sis. Me too. That's why I'm sitting here. And I know people think, oh, why don't you get a life and not talk about this? Because I don't want to. I want to talk about this until all my ladies are free from the shackles of Dusties, okay? And again, nothing's wrong with a man being feminine. The issue is he operating in his healthy feminine energy, 1, and 2, do you want a man that is more masculine or feminine? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself. And then with the answers, then you'll be able to move accordingly in your dating life. And it'll be I'm telling y'all, dating was so much easier once I pinpointed that. It made my life easier, y'all. Way easier. All right. Oh, wait. What was the last question? My bad, y'all. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Okay. Question number 5 was, sorry guys, I'm going to have to read it out loud. All right. Question number 5. You like to masturbate. Okay, listen. This is what she wrote here. Question number 5. You like to masturbate, but your boyfriend feels insulted. What do you do? Do you A, maintain your right to please yourself when alone? B, call him up when you want sex? Or C, lie to him and allow both styles of sexual pleasure? If you're a virgin, just answer this hypothetically. Listen, she being honest. Number 5, if you're a virgin or you're not engaging in premarital sex, that's okay. Just answer this hypothetically, y'all. Hypothetically. You don't have to answer this realistically. Hypothetically speaking, how would you respond to this? Okay, how would you respond? You can skip this question too if it makes you uncomfortable. That's fine. All right, number 6. You and your boyfriend are saving for a summer rental and he wants to control your money. What do you do? A, refuse to do it. B, do it with a guaranteed allowance. Or C, demand that you alternate control monthly. All right. We're going to move on to 7. Your car has broken down. What do you do? A, call your boyfriend and ask him to come get you. B, leave the car and take a bus or cab home. Or C, call your brother instead of your boyfriend. All right. Question number 8. You are in a relationship with an up-and-coming man and want to develop your own career, but he wants you to marry him and raise the kids. What do you do? This sounds like Ballerina Farms. If y'all don't know her, follow her on TikTok, child. A, leave him and go off to pursue your career. B, accept his direction as being best for your marriage. C, say yes, and after you marry, go back to your career priority. Child, C never works. Okay, let me stop. I'm going to stop influencing this answers. I'm going to shut up. Okay, I'm going to shut up. All right. 9, you have a boyfriend who is more powerful and successful than you are. What do you do? A, duke it out with him for equality. So you competing with your man. B, surrender to his leadership and fight only over ethical and moral issues. C, keep him a while to see if he will surrender to you, and if not, dump him. Listen, I answer honestly, y'all. Gotta be honest. All right, number 9. You have a boyfriend who is more powerful and successful than you are. Oh, sorry, I read that one already. Number 10. You have a fight with your gentle feminine boyfriend who then has a problem with impotence. Damn. Whoo, how do they come up with these questions? All right, in case you guys don't know, impotence is when he can't get it up. All right, that's what it is. What do you do? All right. A, accept him as he is and help him to feel safer and more relaxed. B, end the relationship and go on to the next man. Or C, try to teach him with books and articles how to do it. So the thing with impotence, y'all, is I don't know how it works, but I think some men have too much estrogen or something like that. So that's actually might be a reproductive issue or sexual issue. So you'd have to go to the doctors to get that figured out. I would recommend somebody go to the doctor with that one. Hey Letitia, how you doing? Number 10, number 10. The doctors were not playing. The doctors were not playing. Letitia, how have you been? I haven't even seen you. How's everything going? All right, 11. You are engaged and in a dual career relationship, but your live-in fiance expects you to do most of the housework as his mom did. What do? A, do it to prove you are better than his mom or better than mom. B, refuse to do it. Sorry, y'all, because this screen is so small. All right. B, refuse to do more at home than he does and fight with him about it. Or C, negotiate a fair split of chores and leave him until he is willing. All right. Y'all gonna have to answer honestly. Wait, AI Queen, you ain't have to tell us your answers. These are private answers, y'all. Private answers. But thank you for letting us know. Private answers, guys. You don't have to tell me. This is for you, for your assessment. There's more. Yeah, there's more. Keep your answers private. Number 12. Your boyfriend earns twice as much as you do, but expects you to share 50-50 on dates. You know what? I'm going to shut up. What do? A, accept this 50-50 deal for all dates. B, expect him to pay for everything. Or C, compromise by each paying for dates you request of each other or of the other. All right. We gonna move on, y'all. There's more. I think these are the last questions that I'm gonna go up. All right. If you didn't get a chance to answer, you're gonna have to catch a replay. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. That was this screenshot. All right. There's more, y'all. There's more. Hold on a second. We were at question 12. Hold on. Okay, this is the page 34. Okay, got it. Okay, I'm pulling it up now. Window capture. Okay, here we go. Let us go. Okay, here we go. All right. So let's get to the next one. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, I have to go down. 13. Wait, where was I? Okay, there we go. All right, sorry. 11. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, wait. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm giving the answer. My bad, y'all. My bad. Oops. You didn't see that. My bad, y'all. My bad. Hold on. Where were we? We were question. Okay, that was 9. Hold on, guys. I'm getting lost. You see, that's too many screenshots. All right, here we go. I found it. Okay, let's get into it. Sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. Let me pull it up. Okay, here we go. Sorry, y'all. All right, next. Wait, why am I still reading the answers? Hold on a second, y'all. Wait. Something's wrong. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Your boyfriend, you're engaged. Yeah, this is intimacy, quality. Hold on. Give me a few seconds. If you're your boyfriend. No, these are the answers. I think I got too ahead of myself. Okay. Dottie, yes. Okay. I think that was it. You have a fight in the relationship. Try to teach him. Dual. Okay, 50-50. Okay, that's what we did. All right. Oh, okay, there we go. That's where I got lost. All right, I found it, y'all. Found the problem. Okay, here we go. Thank you for your patience, guys. Thank you. I found it. Okay, here we go. Y'all, I thought I got the wrong screenshot. Okay, here, let's go over the last questions. 13. Y'all stay with me. All right, we're back. Hi, I am Priscilla. How are you? 13. You have a boyfriend and you travel a great deal for your work. What do you do? A. Enjoy socializing non-sexually with men out of town with your boyfriend's acceptance. B. Do not socialize with men out of town because you are considerate of your boyfriend's possible hurt feelings. Or C. Socialize secretly with men out of town. We're going to talk about that in next week's case study. Next week's case study is wild. All right, that's good. 14. Your boyfriend has been passed over for a promotion at his company. You've been invited to a company social event. What do you do? I don't know if this is the same company. All right, let's read. A. You go to the event, but you are so angry that after a few drinks, you confront the company executive about the wrong done. Oh, okay, you go to the same event. All right, basically, your boyfriend passed up at his company, and then you had to go to the company event. And then you gonna go, A, you go to the event, but you're angry that after a few drinks, you confront the company executive about the wrong done. B, you refuse to go to the event out of anger, even though it will reflect negatively on him. Or C, you go to the event and act like a supportive woman. All right. Last question, 15. Both you and your boyfriend work long hours during the week and have little time for sex. What do you do? A, let him decide when to ask and say no thank you if you are too tired. B, initiate it when you are feeling amorous. Or C, negotiate to have sex only on weekends. Okay, so here we go. All right, y'all. Y'all done? Because I'm going to give y'all one more minute and then I'm going over the answers. Let's go over the answers. We're going to go over the answers. 1 minute. 1 minute. Is my screen even sharing? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, I got to make sure. All right, 1 minute, y'all. 1 minute. And then we're done. Okay. All right, let's go over the answers. So, number 1. So, you enjoy living alone. They said that living alone is to please yourself and not to work more or avoid people. Living alone to please yourself and not to work more or avoid people is self-loving, therefore feminine. So, you enjoy living alone because if you chose A, it's narcissistic, B, it's male, or C, it's female. So whatever your answer was, if you chose A, you are narcissistic. If you chose B, you're a male. You're operating in the male mind. And if you chose C, you're in the female mind, the female energy. Okay? So living alone to please yourself and not to work more or avoid people is self-loving, therefore feminine. All right. Number 2. You and your fiance are buying a house. You have more money to invest than he does. What do you do? If you answered A, you are operating in your masculina. If you chose B, you are operating in your feminine energy. And if you chose C, you're a narc. I think I got narc, actually, now that I think about it. I got to remember how my answers were. So unless she wants to be masculine and respected, it is difficult for a feminine woman to respect and be sexual with a man when she contributes more money than he does. On the other hand, being a gold digger is selfish and unfeminine. All right, so they told you. I think I'm a narc too. I think, you know what? When I read this, I think I did find out I was a bit of a narc. But I'm a mild narc. I think I'm just self-centered, actually, to some extent. I've gotten better. I gotta retake this quiz. I didn't even take this quiz. Actually, I should have taken it with y'all. That would have been funny. All right. I think I'm gonna take it after. All right. So yeah. So being a gold digger is selfish and unfeminine. That's what she said. Look, she a doctor. Okay. She telling y'all. 3, you enjoy working more than playing because if you chose A, you are on the male mind. That's male energy. Masculina energy. B, narcissistic. Or C, female. Feelings don't count. Money does. Controlling your life is more important than having fun. If dad wanted you to perform for his love, you will see performance as normal. All right. All right. So there we go. All right. Let's go to the next part. I know a lot of us found out we were narcs. I really think I was a narc, actually, now that I think about it. Because I remember, now that I'm reading the answers, like, oh, I think I did get narc, actually. Yo, listen, y'all answer honestly, okay? We answer honestly. We listen and we don't judge. I'm not judging none of y'all. Listen, if you're a narc, if you're a masculina, and if you're feminine, that's fine. Just know what energy you're operating in, and please live by your truth and live in your truth. Stop subjecting us all to this. If you truly are in your masculina energy, then embrace it. Stop, like, don't call us as your friends and be like, oh, he don't want to do nothing for me, and then you doing everything for him, and then you want to complain and cry to us. Let that man be feminine in peace. Let him be in his feminine energy in peace, and you're gonna have to figure it out, or leave him. That's the only answer. Either you stay masculina or you leave him. There's no in between, unless he knows how to, again, be both. But some people don't know how to operate in both. All right, number 4. Your boyfriend likes to camp out and you don't. What do? If you answered A, you are a masculina. B, female energy. And C, you're a narc. Being able to say no, thank you, I don't feel good about camping out, sets feminine boundaries for yourself without trying to control him with seductive generosity or intimidating demands. Yes. Number 5, you like to masturbate. That's the controversial question. You like to masturbate, but your boyfriend feels insulted. What do? A, female. You're in the feminine energy. B, masculina energy. C, narc energy. Your body belongs to you first. Therefore, you have a moral right to please it. A man oversteps his bounds when he sets moral or ethical standards for you. All right. Number 6, you and your boyfriend are saving for a summer rental and he wants to control your money. What do? A, masculina. B, feminine energy. C, you're a narc. All right. If that's your answers, you gotta answer honestly. To respect your masculine man financially while requiring him to cherish your feelings by giving you an allowance can be an efficient way to handle money. Taking control makes you the masculine one. Okay. Yeah. Your car has broken down. What do? Did I read that one? Did I? I forgot. All right, anyways, the answer is A, feminine. B, masculina. C, narc. Reaching out first to your man rather than a relative honors him with respect and allows him to show you how much he cherishes you. That is true. How you got a whole ass man and you calling your brother or your daddy? That is insanity. All right. Number 8, you are in a relationship with an up and coming man and he wants to develop your own career. But he wants you to marry him and raise the kids. What do? I'm telling y'all, Ballerina Farms, y'all. Look her up on TikTok. Her story is wild. All right. A. If you chose A, you're you're in your masculine energy. B, you're in your feminine energy. And C, you're a narc. If you are a woman first in your If you are a woman first and your career is second, follow him. If you are a career woman first, put your career first. Facts. But then find a feminine man who is willing to be Mr. Mom or stay single. Oh, damn. Wait. Let's read that again. If you are a woman first and your career is second, follow him. If you are a career woman first, put your career first, but then find a feminine man who is willing to be Mr. Mom, or stay single. I kind of have to disagree with that one, because I kind of have to disagree a little bit with the doctor, the good doctor. I think she's just speaking in general, but if you're a career woman first, put your career first. Because the thing is that you know what? No, she could be right. You know what? She is right, because she's saying that if you really cherish your career, then go after it. But I think you can have a career and still be feminine. I think you just got to know how to approach it, because I still have my career and my husband still has his career, but that doesn't mean that we operate in he's a feminine man. I guess it's case by case, but I don't think that you have to choose him over your career. I just think that's weird. But then again, this was in 1995. Maybe she saw a lot of couples that way. I can't really say that. It depends on the couple. 9, you have a boyfriend who is more powerful and successful than you are. What do you do? If you chose A, you're operating your masculina. If you chose B, you're in your feminine energy. Okay, let's read the next screenshot. My bad, y'all. 34. Let's read that. Okay, here we go. All right, and then if you chose C, you're a narc. Intimacy requires compromise. Competing for equality is normal for singles, but destructive in a relationship. Equitable exchanges enhance compatibility. All right. Number 10, you have a gentle feminine boyfriend who then has a problem with impotence. Remember, he can't get it up. What do you do? A, you're in your feminine energy. B, masculina through and through. C, narky. A man's pee-pee or penis cannot be taught. Create a safe harbor without giving instructions and make your body available. Nature will take its course and you will either become lovers or end up as friends. I think y'all need to go see the doctor. Go see the lady. Go see the lady and get him, they got pills for that, and they have resources for that, y'all. So if you really like him and he's a good man, y'all could go to the doctor together and figure that out. But yeah. Go to the doctor. Okay. 11, you are engaged in a dual career relationship, but your live-in fiance expects you to do most of the housework as his mom did. What do you do? If you chose A, you're in your male energy. B, you're a narc, and C, female energy. You don't need to fight or capitulate. You need only to gently say no to what does not feel good to you. Either he will negotiate or he won't. And if he won't, you can end the relationship. Dang, she telling y'all, be done with it. All right. 12, your boyfriend earns twice as much as you do, but expects you to share 50-50 on dates. What do you do? A, masculine. B, narky. C, female. A tug of war over 50-50 is unromantic. Doesn't that sound like one of them case studies? Doesn't that sound? I told you. It is not. It's a turnoff. Each of you deserves to date and be dated and have the tab paid by the initiator. Masculine men and women often initiate more dates than feminine men or women. Yeah. All right. 13, you have a boyfriend and you travel a great deal for your work. What do you do? If you responded A, female, B, male, C, narc. Trustworthy socializing with the opposite sex is a sign of inner security on both sides. Sexualizing is forbidden, but not socializing. Ex-lovers are dangerous as friends. Don't socialize with them. Yeah, you should be able to have healthy relationship with male or female friends without getting jealous. That's just, you need to figure that out. 14, your boyfriend has been passed over for a promotion at his company. What do you do? Or you have been invited to the company's social event. What do you do? A, if you answered A, you are male. Masculina. B, narc. C, female. All right. Let's see what her explanation is on that. Let's pull it up. Okay. Was that 35? Yeah, it was 35. All right. Respecting your man's right to take care of himself is feminine. Taking care of him is masculine. Say it again, doctor. Respecting your man's right to take care of himself is feminine. Taking care of him is masculine. Make sure he agrees first. Exactly. You need to ask if he's okay with it, because you shouldn't overstep your boundaries. 15. Both you and your boyfriend work long hours during the week and have little time for sex. What do? This happens a lot, y'all. This happens a lot, especially when people are busy. A. If you responded A, you're in your feminine energy. If you responded with B or you answered B, you're a narky. And C, Masculina. When you initiate sex verbally or physically, you run the risk of having sexual problems in performance. You can say no to what you don't want, but you better have an agreement from him first before you place him in the female receptive role. Wow. Okay. If you have scored mostly male, decide if you really want to be the male. If you do, you must find a feminine man or woman. If not, you must choose to become more female. If you have scored mostly female, you can mate with a masculine man or woman. Still, you should note where you have scored male and become more female in those areas or risk conflict. Yeah. And then maleness, using logic primarily and how you feel secondarily. Femaleness, using feelings primarily and what you think secondarily. Narcissistic. Oh, sorry, y'all. I'm not laughing. If you got narky, it's okay. I think I got a few narcs on them. I remember that now. I think I did get a few narcs. Narcissistic is trying to use logic and feelings equally, which ultimately neutralizes both and ends intimacy through competitive conflict. Oh, so you gotta choose to operate with one. Either you operate with feelings or logic, but not both all the time, basically. So yeah, that's it, y'all. That's it from the good doctor, y'all. The good doctor. We can read the book. This is not the end of the book. There's like so much in there. Like that book is probably one of the best books I've read as far as explaining masculinity and femininity. And one thing I will say though is just based on my experiences when she was talking about the career, now that I think about it, she is right. She's like, if you remember the question was like, I'm not sure if that's right, but actually she's right. If you want to operate fully in your feminine energy, then yes, you should let the man take the lead, and that's with the career as well. So if you really want to operate in that energy fully, then yes, you will be the one to just follow what he says. However, that's not always the case. I will say that for me personally, I have found that men who actually are good providers and actually want to take the male role, they don't mind a woman having a career, but you just gotta know when to let him take the lead majority of the time. That's the thing. So I would say that based on my personal experiences and maybe based on what she saw, she probably is like, hey, it's probably best you follow your man. If he's a good provider and you want to take the female role and you don't mind sitting back, then yes, follow him. But if he's cosplaying, don't do it. And also, if your career means a lot to you, stick to your career. I promise you, don't choose a man over a career. It's the worst decision you'll ever make. Especially if that's not what you want, right? But if you're the type of woman, because I know there's a lot of women, there are some women who just want to be wives and they just want to be housewives. Those are the type of women I think she's talking about. But if you want to actually have a career and you want to take a more feminine role, then that's okay too. But just make sure that that man is comfortable with you also like having a career, and he can also have his career, and he doesn't feel like it's going to take over his masculinity. That's what it is. You just got to know how to balance that. You're excited for the book club? Oh, thank you, at the Dev Studio. Yeah, I'm gonna put the announcement in the Discord probably sometime tonight. It's 3:00 this way. I think it's 6:00 for some of y'all. But yeah, just give me until tonight, and then I already have the book, so I'm gonna give y'all time to get the book, and then we're gonna read it together and read chapters together. Yeah. You got narc 3 times. It's okay, sis. I'm telling you, I got narc too. I promise you, I got narc on a few of them. I remember that because I was like, oh, I'm a narc? Oh my God. I'm not a narc anymore, though. I'm a reformed narky. At least I'm not a masculina. But it's okay. This is the thing, though. It's okay to be a masculina. You know why I go hard on it, though? The reason I went hard in the last case study is she didn't want that. That's not what she wants. So then I'm like, okay, you don't want it, but why are you still operating in your masculine energy? That's what didn't make sense to me. I'm like, look, if you want, and I even said that in the case study too. I said, hey, if they both were comfortable with her being in the more masculine energy, then I would have nothing to say, because that's what works for them. Remember, the doctor said it's a dynamic. The energy is not gender specific. Some men, they like to operate in their feminine energy. They love it. But then you can't expect him to suddenly become masculine. It doesn't work like he has to want to actively be masculine. That's my point. Your best bet is to find a man. If you're the type of girl or woman who wants a man to be tender and soft, yet hard and rugged, you want him to have both, then you need to find a man who has both, who can, like I told you, I gave y'all the example of my coworker. He's a plant dad. He can be soft. He takes care of his wife, but he's also a man. He's a leader. He's one of the top leaders at our job. So it's like, there are men who can turn it on and off. You got to find that kind of man. That kind of man where he's not too like, oh, that's a woman's job. Yeah, no. As soon as he doesn't know how to cook and clean and says it's for women, you already know he's feminine. He's a feminine man through and through. As soon as he said it's a woman's job to cook and clean and do all that stuff, and then he's also he's not contributing anything to the house, so he's not a provider. And then he wants you to cook and clean and do all the work, and he just sits like a potato. That's a feminine man. If he's more comfortable with you receiving than giving, he's feminine. That's what I'm saying. You just gotta look at the traits. I want to become more feminine. I should read the book. Yeah, join the book club, y'all. Join the book club. Go buy the book. At the Dub Studio, sometimes society and circumstances shape us to be more narc masculine, but the good thing is we can change that. Yeah, we can. And you're so right. At the Dub Studio, we're gonna read a lot of books. Like, some of it is environment, and also, like you said, especially with Black women, I have to bring it up. With Black women, I would say Black women, Hispanic women to a certain extent, but mainly Black women. Black women, we are literally thrust in the Masculina role from a young age. You are supposed to take care of everybody. Everybody's feelings ahead of your feelings. Everybody's prioritized ahead of you. You're not supposed to be self-centered. If you're selfish, that's bad. It's bad for you to choose yourself. They want you to be selfless. Unfortunately, that is a male trait. It's masculine energy, like the good doctor said. She said that is being selfless is masculine. It's masculine energy. Yeah, we were raised as masculinas. That's what I'm saying. Being selfish is feminine. But then the men are selfish and the women are selfless in our community. How is that possible? And then we're trying to make it make sense now. Now in 2025, especially millennials, I'm not saying nothing about Gen Xers. I understand that you guys are half and half, but the boomers, they didn't get it. They were selfless. Masculine energies, straight masculinas. Most of us have boomer parents. Masculinas, extraordinaires. And then we wonder why it's hard for us to find a man who can take care of us, because we're operating in our masculine energy. But the way they're saying it, you see, this is the problem with the manosphere. They're saying it as if you are supposed to be submissive if you're feminine. No. You can't have it both ways. You could be submissive. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that they were raised as feminine. We were raised as masculine. And then now they want to switch the roles. But then they're still operating in their feminine energy, but want the masculine respect. It doesn't work that way. If you want to, that's why I think I had said, men want to be a provider, but they don't know what a provider is. Because for them, they want to use their gender to explain masculinity, but they don't understand it's a character trait. It's your energy. You're saying you're a masculine because you're a man, But in actuality, your spirit is feminine. You are a female energy cosplaying as a man, as a masculine energy is what I mean to say. So then it's confusion. The delusion of confusion. You want me to respect you as a man, but you act like a female as far as the energy, not gender. So I want y'all to get it real clear. I'm not talking about gender. I'm not saying women are supposed to be one way and men are. I'm saying the energy, female energy. But then you want me to give you male respect. Doesn't work like that. Yeah. Does that apply to women too? Lesbian. Yeah, she said that. Read. She said male and women. If you're lesbian, then you need to figure out where you fall. This advice, you could be lesbian, trans, whatever your gender identity is. It relates to everybody. Whoever you choose to date, how you choose to present yourself is how you choose to date. How you're going to choose the relationship dynamic. So if you're a lesbian, I'm not in the lesbian community. I'm talking about heterosexual relationships, but it applies. Whatever your energy is, that's what the relationship's going to be like. If you like to be pursued, then you got to rest in your femininity. If you like to, you like to be the one to do the chasing, you like to chase, then you're in your Masculina. And you got to be okay with that. And if you're a narc, you got to choose one. You can't be both. I learned that too. You can't have it both ways. You can't be logic and feeling. You have to choose one as far as your relationship dynamic goes. Relationships, guys. She's talking about relationships. I'm both masculine and feminine, but the masculine part is taking over. Yeah, because unfortunately, if you're going to be both masculine and feminine. That's fine. But the point is that in a relationship, whether it be heterosexual or whatever, you have to choose which one you identify the most with. That's it. Identify the most with, and you have to start taking characteristics of that. If you want a man to lead, then you need to be more feminine. Energy. I don't mean you. This is the thing. People confuse energy with makeup and how you look. And of course, that comes with compatibility and attraction. Don't get me wrong. Yes, you should take care of yourself. But once you love yourself, you're going to automatically take care of yourself. So that's neither here nor there. The point is that you can still be a beautiful woman in shape and have all of those things going for yourself and still operate in the Masculina energy. How many times have we seen it? Look at J-Lo. Jennifer Lopez. Super Masculina. But she presents as a woman. Like, she's very feminine. If you look at her, you think she is. But actually, J-Lo is masculine. As far as her chasing the man. She has Masculina energy. I'm telling y'all. She has Masculina energy. J-Lo is a Masculina. Because look at Ben Affleck. She was chasing him all over. That man was so tired. Y'all saw him with the cigarette outside looking like he didn't like that. He doesn't like that. A lot of men don't like the Masculina energy. As far as if he's a man who operates in his masculine energy, if he's a man who operates in his masculine energy, he's not gonna like the Masculina. It will make him uncomfortable. And that is why you see a lot of friction between couples. But then the woman keeps wanting to do. I want to do this for my man. I want to make sure, cook clean for him, do all that. That's a 5-year-old. Y'all heard her. She said after 5 years old, you need to stop doing that. Stop mothering these grown-ass men. He needs to be able to do it for himself. And if you want to cook clean and do all that stuff for him, then do it do it where you're not giving more. He needs to be the one to give more, or else you're going to put him in that feminine. He's going to automatically switch over to the feminine role because now you're leading. That's the point. All right, let me read more. Yeah, they be so focused on telling women to choose better and try to settle for bad treatment in a relationship. Exactly. Being selfless is feminine too. No, not according to the good doctor. Hold up. Do we need to go back? Hold on. We might need to go back. It's 3 hours, 23 minutes. Hold on. Kelpie, when did you join the live? Let me know. When did you join the live? You're going to rewind this live stream. When did you join the live? Because the doctor told us otherwise. Selfless is not feminine. That's masculine. Masculine, y'all. Masculine. She said that. Hold up. I'm going to need to find it. Which screenshot was that? Here. Okay. Let's go. We gonna read it again. Hold up. I found it. Let me go read the screenshots again. Hold on. Men, okay. Let me go. I think I found it, but we gonna read that part again. Hi, Romy. Can you talk about how you could do a run background check on someone in Korea if it's possible there? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna respond to you. Yeah, it is a book. It's called Getting to I Do. I put it in the live chat. I'll put it in the description box after the video. Men are fickle towards my androgen by divinity, not realizing I'm my own person. Hold up. Are you bisexual, or do you date men or women? Because you say you're a lesbian, but then you said men. You date men or women? Okay, here I found the screenshot. I think you joined late in the live, so let's read that one more time, and then I'm gonna answer Amanda's question, and then I gotta get going, y'all. I gotta get going after that. Okay, so let me read the screenshot that I have for you. I think it's 25. Yeah, 25. Okay, let's pull it up. Let's pull up our screenshot here. Okay, I'm gonna put my head smaller. I have to finish drying my hair, y'all. It's air drying right now, and it's irritating me because it's stuck now. Okay, so here we're gonna read this for you. Kelpie. That Korean puka over my eyes, how men can be trifling in any shade. That's why I do these videos, y'all. Don't be fooled by what he looks like. His character will tell you everything. So here, Kelpie, I'm going to read it for you. A masculine energy man does not marry a woman who gives to him. That is not what they want. Unless he is a little boy who wants to be mothered. A masculine man marries a feminine woman who is able to receive from him, who respects him for giving, and who knows how to give back to reward him, but always a little less than what she gets. All right. Here, I'm going to go to the bottom here. Hold on. Let me even highlight it for you, Kelpie, because you I know you just joined. So I just want to make it very clear. Very, very clear what we were reading. So here, in this part, at the bottom, if you are a healthy feminine woman, you are self-centered. You love yourself first before any man. So that's being selfish. Selfless is a male trait. Here, at the top here. At the top here. Okay? At the top. Here, it says, when a man can give, protect, and cherish his woman above himself, he is matured to selflessness, and he will be rewarded by those he loves. But instead of giving, protecting, and cherishing his woman above himself, he says that's not fair. That's for the men who said it. That's not fair. Why do I have to give first? Why doesn't she give first? My mom gave to my dad, and they've been married 35 years. My answer is, your mom was selfless, therefore masculine. Selfless equals masculine, because the man should be, or whoever embodies the masculine energy, so it could be male or female, whoever is the masculine energy has to be the selfless one. Whoever is embodying the feminine energy is going to be selfish. She's receiving, remember? So the one giving, leading, man, masculine energy. And so then she said, your mom was selfless, therefore masculine, and your dad was feminine, or Peter Pan, depending on whether he was able to give back or not. So most men think they grew up with a masculine man. I just broke your delusion. If your father fits any of those characteristics and let your mama take care of him like a baby, he was in his feminine energy. And if you expect your wife to do all that to you as well, then you are operating in your feminine energy. That's it. All right. More feminine with some narcissistic tendencies. This was fun. It's okay. We're here to learn, y'all. We're here to learn. You said my mother wasn't a fan of my father's emotional nature and saw it as feminine. Yeah. Well, maybe she didn't want that. I mean, but you see, that's the thing though. Like, a man can be emotional and still be masculine. What she's trying to say is that it's an energy. And if you know how to balance both, and if you know what you're operating in, it's going to serve you the best. There's nothing wrong with a man being emotional. You can be emotional and still be a masculine man. The problem is if he's emotional, and then I said that in the beginning, you got to watch the replay. If he's dysfunctionally feminine, which means that he's over emotional, overly aggressive, like overly everything. If he's too much, that means it's dysfunctional. If your man is crying all over the place all the time, that's a problem. He might need to get checked. He might have too much estrogen in his body. That happens too, guys. By the way, we're going to talk about it. Food. Sometimes men have more estrogen than progesterone. Again, it's not necessarily like, I'm not trying to say that men can't be feminine. Everyone has dual personalities in them. But the thing is, if you notice that he's overly feminine, meaning that he's always crying, always whining, always have those kind of tendencies, doesn't know how to communicate, that's actually a deeper problem. That's a health problem. That's not necessarily a personality problem. It's a health problem. He cries a lot. I do too. Yeah, he's a masculine. But remember, masculine, this is the thing. Masculine, not in appearance. This is personality. So if he cries a lot, but then he's a provider, he protects, he gives a lot, then he's operating in his masculinity. So there's nothing wrong with him being emotional, because he knows how to turn it on and off. But if he doesn't know how to provide, doesn't know how to protect, wants your mama to do everything, and then he crying all over the place, that's an emotional problem. That's a problem. That's what she's talking about. That's what she's talking about. All right, Amanda, I'm going to answer your question. Hi, Romy. Can you talk about how you could do a background check on someone in Korea? It is not possible, sis. It ain't possible. It's not possible because, unfortunately, in Korea and also in Canada, you can't do that. Only the U.S. has public records. I know in many other countries, you have to have a reason to run a background check. You could probably get a private company to do it, though. You would have to go and get a private company to do it. But in Korea, you need to have a reason. So you can't just go to the police station and ask for a background check. They're going to ask you who asked you for it and why do you need it. And you need to have proof of why. So, for example, when my husband was going through the permanent residency process, and even me, when I had to apply for something, I forgot I needed a background check from Korea. I had to get something from, like, a reason why. I couldn't just run a background check out of nowhere. It had to be, like, for a specific reason. So it'll be hard for you to do the background check in Korea. You might be able to do it through a private investigation company. But what you can do to circumvent that is you need to meet his family. You need to meet his family. That's the best background check I could give you. Meet his friends and his family. Meet all of them. And spend extensive amount of time with them. Don't just meet them once and then that's it. If you want to really get to know who a man is, the best thing you could do is really pay attention to his family dynamics. Meet his family. And if he says, oh, my family is not going to like you, all that stuff, red flag. Red flag. Because if you can't meet anyone close to him, and then he wants to get married with you, and he's giving you all these, I would not marry him. Personally speaking, I would not be with him, period. I'm not going to waste my time. I need to see who you with. And no, I understand in Korea, you have to get serious before you can meet the parents. That's fine. You can get to know him on an individual basis. But best believe, I'm not going to give you a yes or pursue this very seriously as far as marriage goes without meeting your family. It's just not going to happen. And spending extensive time with them. Not just like, oh, we meet once and then that's it. No, I spent time with his family. We literally, like, by the time we got married, I had seen his folks like several times. And it wasn't just in their house. Like, we went out to dinner. We went to Mungyong Seje. grandma's birthday. I was at events. I was all up in it. Talked to his mom all the time. Matter of fact, she asked for my phone number. That's how I knew it was a green flag. As soon as we got together, she asked for my phone number, my Kakao Talk, so she could send me Bible verses. And then I got to see their, them in their dynamic. And also my husband. Like, my husband had a lot of green flags. He was already green flag, period. He was consistent, communicative. He had a good personality, always, like, had positive words. Like, he, and one thing I loved about him is he was working. A good man, always at work or the gym. That was it. He didn't go out drinking. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but I didn't want a man who was out there too much. I don't like that. And it's like, if he wasn't at work or the gym, he was spending time with me. He gave me all of his attention. And also, like, the way he treated people around me. He wanted to get to know everybody. Like, he's the type of person, like, when we went out, he would treat people with respect. Notice how he treats the service people. Always opening doors for people. Always opening doors for me. And he never broke character. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's still this way. Years later, I just knew that was his personality. So it's like, there are ways that you can tell without doing a background check. But it is important to do a type of background check. If you can't do a background check, then look at his family and friends. You don't need to go any further. Meet his family and his friends. What kind of stories they gonna tell you? Yeah. How are his family? How his folks are? How are his folks? Are they cold or warm? Soon as I met his mom, warm. Grandmother, warm. Father, warm. Smiling. Gentle. Just nice people, friendly. If his people can't be bothered to be around you and they don't like you, child, no, I wouldn't even. Don't even bother. And know his character too. If he's inconsistent, that's already a red flag. You don't need a background check for that. Because trust me, the mask will fall off eventually. You just gotta pay attention. All right. On that note, I'm gonna end it. How did you and your partner meet? I have a story time of how I met my husband on my channel, Kelpie. You're gonna have to go back and check, child. Go back and check. We met in Korea while I was living there. Yes, exactly. Keep an open mind. Absolutely. I have a date with a girl on Thursday because I'm 5 years older. I want to ensure no power imbalance. Well, good luck. This channel is mainly for heterosexuals, but I don't mind. I actually don't have I don't have anything against anyone who watches me who's not heterosexual, but yeah, it's mostly, my advice is mostly geared towards heterosexual relationships because I'm in a heterosexual relationship. But if you find the advice applies to you, then it's fine. Yeah, I don't mind that. All right, so that is it, y'all. I am done for today. It's been 3 hours 36 minutes. Y'all had me on here for a minute. All right, y'all, it was fun. I love y'all the long way. I shall come back. Yes, exactly. You can pick up people energy. Yup, social cues. I'm telling y'all, be a sociologist and anthropologist. You will know everything. You don't need to do backgrounds. I promise you. All right, y'all. Happy Sunday. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your time. And I will come out with another case study. It's going to be on Justin Dean and Cora Obidi. Who, cha? I'm in Nigerian relationships now. Cha. Oh, that one was a... this case study is going to be a hard one. I actually had to go buy her book. She wrote a book about her divorce, so I had to go buy it. I'm just waiting for it to be delivered to read it, and then I'm going to do the case study on that. Y'all look for that on next week. Sometime next week. All right, y'all. Love you. Bye. See you next week.